squeaky old chair. Hey, Mighty Geek in the house. Morning all, he says. Morning to you. It is early morning. Early morning. Shh. 3:27 a.m. in the morning right now, right here. But hopefully Mighty Geek will come back. I scheduled it for 15 minutes later. Didn't need it. Didn't need it. Minutes to spare. Minutes to spare. I've set and reset this inking stream. So much going on. But yeah, just freshly out of the shower. My beard's still wet. But yeah, we're here. We're here, and the link is in the chat. If you Mighty Geek, if you're out there, you want to come on for a little bit, you can. I had to find what I'm going to ink, which is the wraparound cover, and it's kind of buried. But I do need to finish this Devil Flyer piece too, the background of that helmet for the. I'm gonna need a. I can do a little bit on that. Probably need to make that a perfect circle, huh? And I don't know where my things are right now. So, and this is for the wraparound cover, right? So, but I do want to use that design on the charter, the Devil Flyer charter member, as well as this patch design here for the back of the card, charter member cards. You can get one by either having me giving you one, comp you a copy. I know it's late. Yeah, it's late. It's really late. Or if you purchase the Devil Flyer Black and White Ash Can, which is up on Indiegogo right now. Bundles go out. Bundles. We had. Don't you worry, I'll get the bundles out to everybody. Jonas, yes, have your Golden Age comic that you won. Major Impact, the Space Ace from 1951. Bob Powell cover and art promo that will be going out here shortly. It'll be next week, actually. Probably Thursday. I'm gonna get everything packaged up and send a bunch of packages out and see where I'm at then with mailing. If my cover is not underneath all this stuff, then I would like to know where it is. I'm sure it is. It's just a catch-all right there. Have to clean. Had to write a story for this character that Doc Blaylock, the Nubian, drew for me. I had to put her to good use. And I need more female representation within my universe. That's why I was very glad to fill in the blanks here on the blank ones. Of course, these are bad guys, psychotic bad guys, Nazis, Germans, not just white heterosexual males clinging to the guns. Yeah, you know what they call us, but most dangerous person on the planet. I'm gonna have to do something with Cortex too. Actually, been thinking of what I'd like Dan Wallace to do for me in the future, if he's willing. A little bit tonight. Have time to think while I'm out spraying. Dirty Joe page. Bog and Dirty Joe cover. I finished. Vampire cover I started, and another Kirby Crackle. That's not anything that I wanted. So it must be over there or over here. And my guess is back there. So, no problem. Time's all we have. All we have is now. And if you're here listening, watching, or watching on replay, I appreciate you coming in and checking out the channel. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're so inclined. We had a fun time with Mike Barron today and RJ Critical Blast. Uh, great, great time with them for a while. Uh, uh, got the calendar loaded for the next few days. Rex Hex and Apex on Saturday. We're going to have Keith Gleason and Amy Gleason from Mighty Mascots on. That'll be probably a surprise to Rex and Hex, or I mean Hex and Apex. I'm Rex. I often forget that. You can make your villain female. Um, yeah. Well, hopefully I have more than one villain, right, Mighty Geek? Uh, but yeah, are you talking about the piece that the Nubian? I could make her a villain. But I do have some villainesses. I do have some, good and bad. Uh, yeah, I'm thinking about setting her in sort of jungle action, but prehistoric jungle action in the past. Uh, Although she's from the present time. Uh, I don't know. Things can change. Things can change. As soon as I get my doodles and crap out of the way, maybe I'll find my cover, which I so long to hold in my hands and to do with the Devil Flyer #1 cover. Here it is, right under Storm Rider there. Spelled with a Y, thanks to Pal Rider. I did give this some thought tonight as I was working. I think will work on side A, the front cover with the good guys. Back cover is the bad guys tonight. I have more to do on side A. Kind of like it all to come together at one point, at one time. Thought about TM, which is pictured here in the foreground. Right there. I think you'll find him an interesting character for sure. Hopefully I can get Dan Lawless to draw him. I think he would be I mean, he's not barbarian, but he has a sword, and he has a pretty wicked, streamlined look. Not too much. I mean, he's not naked like Naked Barbarian drawing the form, but he's all black outfit. I think that would be in his wheelhouse. Not ready to approach Dan over that, but yet, just quite yet. But oh, and I have some new pens, of course. I bought another one of these and bought. I don't know. Did I know I bought another one. I've been buying new pens. I do have some really fine ones, and I did get some more of the Sharpie felt tip fine pens, which is not the finest. And I have some really small stuff. Some things that I was thinking about. Sorry, Mighty Geek, just saw you there. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. Oh, don't worry about it.
What are you working on?
Well, I'm working on the back of this cover, which is the main character's ancestor, which is a dragon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you were coloring one the other day.
Yeah.
For the front, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And
very.
Am I remembering right? What color is the dragon?
Well, it's actually the dragon is blue.
Is blue. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The Azure dragon, or the guardian deity of the north.
Where do you get your supplies from? Just all over?
Well, I've gotten some markers from Five Below. I get most of my
Five
pencils. Yeah,
Okay. I
it's
think we have a Five Below if they're still in business. I've only been in there a couple times, and that was probably 2017 or when I
yeah, it's
last
still
went.
in
I
business.
actually need to go over there and see what they have.
Uh, I found that they have a lot of markers and fine liners over there.
Oh, okay. I'll check that
Hmm.
out when I do some shopping next time
Yeah,
over that way.
but I do have quilt. My quills and nibs I got from Amazon. I gotta go back to either Blick or Michaels to get me some more ink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I picked up some at Hobby Lobby. Do you have a Hobby Lobby?
I'm sure there's one close, but I'm not sure where it is.
Okay. And you're
But
up
there's one.
around
I'm in
Chicago, are you right?
I'm in Chicago.
You're in Chicago. Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
there's
think
a
about the
mic.
violence up there? Pretty bad, huh?
Well, it is what it is,
Yeah.
and most of us are just used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. John actually, that drew Devil Flyer, he, as a young boy, used to live up in Chicago.
Hmm.
He may have been born in Chicago. I can't remember. Of course, that was
Okay.
long before us. That was, well, early 50s
Yeah.
because he's 71 right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess if you're talking CG artist, I guess he's one of the oldest that's actually
Yeah.
worked on a CG project. He was
Uh,
70 when he started Devil Flyer, and now he's 71, and
ah.
going on 72. But he enjoyed the ash can and uh, magnets and stickers, and or not stickers, but trading cards and magnets and oh, what else do we have? Bookmarks. He
Yeah.
liked how the campaign turned out. Everything looking good. Printing good.
Mhm. Right.
So anytime you get the artist approval, I guess that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I
And
can't remember.
sometimes we have to get the approval of the writer as well. So,
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of greedy like that. I plan on writing everything for a while.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
understandable.
yeah. Which is a whole host of stories. 6 stories in the first issue. It's
Yeah.
really one story, but it's all uh, interlinked and in my head. So,
Yeah.
or some of it,
Some of it's,
some of it's subject to change
yeah, I believe it.
till it sees print.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
I've been, you know, not. I've been trying to reevaluate uh, just about everything. Uh, you know,
yeah, you have to see what works and what doesn't.
what? Yeah, and that's not to say that most of it doesn't work. I just think I can make it better,
Better. Mm,
and I've given myself more time to do so. So, uh,
right.
it's just like when you have more time, you have more time to reevaluate and.
Hmm.
Uh,
You always want to double check everything,
mhm. uh,
especially with titles and all.
Glenn in the house, Glenn Fleming, all the way from the UK, saying hi, fellows. Of course, it's not
How
so
you
early.
doing?
Nice to see some hard lettering on that page, Mr. Geek.
Hmm. The letter. There is lettering on this page. I just
Mhm.
got. This is all pencils here. I'm still doing pencils on this,
Yeah,
so
still
it's gonna be a little. It's gonna be a little hard to see it right now.
still using the trusty light box, I see.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Some things you have to do.
Were you able to catch Mike Barron today when we had him on and RJ?
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
caught I caught the tail end of that one.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that
And I caught his interview with Michael Bancroft.
is that where he went after being
Yeah,
on here. Wow,
yeah.
good company indeed. I guess he was talking about what over there.
Well, he was talking about the inspirations for the Private American
Uh huh.
and his new book.
Bronze Star.
Yeah,
Yeah, with Pat Broderick. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Both are. I mean, he's just amazing.
I know.
How everything's hitting the fan at once with his projects.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that sooner or later somebody's gonna do a Punisher style book
Yeah.
because the Punisher is probably the most relatable character in comics, in
Well,
my
now
opinion. Anyway,
you're a little biased there. You're a little biased.
in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I know that you enjoy characters that don't have superpowers, like
Yeah,
Batman or Punisher.
yeah,
Kind of in your wheelhouse.
they are.
That's kind of what I meant by that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
a little
I
biased,
like
but
I like the
nothing
Punisher
wrong
because
with
he's more of a family man than anything else.
it. Yeah, even though his family was unsummarily taken from him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you like Thomas Jane as the Punisher or any other iterations
I
in the
like
book?
I like Ray Stevenson as the Punisher, and I like John Barenthal.
Now, didn't he
Thomas
just pass away?
Ray Stevenson, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he did,
I believe he was in Rome before that. That
yeah.
the show he was in. I always get
Mm,
that one and Spartacus kind of mixed up, but
I know.
yeah, he was in War Journal, wasn't he? Was it called
Yes,
War Journal?
it was called Punisher War Zone.
War Zone, okay. And War Journal was actually a comic book with the Punisher.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then he did a crossover with the Wolverine there for a little while
yeah,
in a little limited series.
yes. I read that one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, adamantium uh,
Mhm.
characters heroes you
Uh,
don't much mind, huh?
well, no,
Yeah.
well, I like Wolverine for one reason and one reason only.
Oh,
He's he's actually that guy that you'll meet walking down the street.
yeah. A little rough and tumble, huh?
Yeah.
Little mean streak in him. Little mean streak.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll always tell you, be straight with you.
Yeah. Uh, I just got done watching, as a matter of fact, Logan the other day,
Oh,
the other night.
well, that was cool.
Watching that again.
Mhm. Most of the X-Men movies were fun to watch.
I just kind of had that handy and wanted to remind myself of the movie, what it kind of was about, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. Uh, his daughter kind of makes a first appearance in that, right? In the
Yeah. Hmm.
movies, uh, that was interesting. From it was kind of the old man Logan story, wasn't it? Without being
Yeah.
just titled Old Man Logan.
Yeah. That was basically the premise of it.
Hmm. Uh, Glenn, we're gonna have to have you on. We're gonna have to have you
But
on.
what I really liked about
Reach
that
out,
movie,
huh?
the one thing I really liked about that movie, how he
About which?
became
About which one?
Professor X's kid, Logan.
Oh, Logan. Okay.
How he became Professor X's caretaker.
Yeah, yeah. There was a good irony to that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And his executioner in that
Yeah.
movie. Of course, it wasn't him per se, but it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone like him. That's the thing.
Yeah, and his healing factor was not kicking in as the way it should the whole movie.
Right.
In fact, he had one blade that just wouldn't come out uh, totally on
Yeah,
every
I remember that.
and very painful. One time he pulls it out, manually,
Hmm.
and you can see is I guess
He,
I guess if you believe the premise of the movie, the adamantium is kind of poisoning him in his
yeah,
healing factor, overwhelming after all so many years.
yeah,
That kind of weakened the character for me. I mean, weakened into the point of almost uselessness, and they never
yeah.
did explain the limp that he had
Right,
in the movie.
right. Yeah,
Although
that's
I think he
true.
portrayed that very well, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. There were a few things left unexplained, and which was
Yeah.
kind of disappointing.
Well, um, I really don't. I wish they had never told the actual origin, and they actually call him by his name
Right.
in the movie. But wish they had not did Origins or Origins 2, uh, and just left it a mystery.
Yeah.
Maybe did some side stories like Barry Windsor Smith first did the first glimpses of his Weapon X past, and
Yeah.
I just think it. I think leaving it a question mark and a mystery made him a much more interesting character. Really,
It does.
I I I,
It's almost like the Joker.
I kind of look. I kind of look at it as horror movies where uh, uh, in the 80s you actually saw the penetration of the knife and things like that. And I like when it leave it up to your imagination. Your imagination
Yeah.
is more vivid than anything they could graphically show. And once you've seen it
And
once, you
it's
just know
it's
what.
over.
Yeah,
It's over.
but
It's over and done with.
but Wiley draws in the house. Wiley J draws. Totally agree. He says, uh,
Mm.
"Good. We don't like disagreeable, but we'll take it. Uh,
Yeah.
when given. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
There are things we like, and some things should be left to the imagination to fill in.
yeah. I just think the origin of Wolverine should have been left alone. They once you pinned it down, it's like okay, I know just about everything I always wondered about Wolverine. I already
Right.
know he's a
Now
badass
you can't.
and an X-Men and
Hmm.
some of his Weapon X stuff and
Now you can't surprise me with anything else.
yeah, yeah. It's just it just kind of took a lot of the wind out of the sails, I think, for the character.
Yeah.
He was no longer that big man of mystery. Like, where did he come from? What's he been through?
Right.
And now you just kind of know. Started
Hmm.
out with bone claws, and they explained everything.
Yeah.
Uh, think they should have just left that one alone. But again, it's kind of a money maker, right? They almost
Yeah.
had to go there, and it's
Yeah.
really
Because most of your movie going audience don't read comics.
yeah, yeah. But that was first explained in the comics. I mean,
True.
right? I mean, it's not really been put in the
True.
movies. It was
It was.
for
It was.
it was
It
for a
was
comic.
explained in the comics. It was explained in the comics. About 20 years after he debuted.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They didn't tell his origin for 20 years. And it
Right.
was like almost holding your breath. You're like, oh, everybody's clamoring for it. Well, keep them clamoring for it.
Exactly.
Do some stories like Weapon X. I'm just saying that, that was in Marvel Comics Presents with Barry Windsor Smith. Little side
Yeah.
things like that. And then through the years, well, is Sabretooth related? Is he his father? Is he his brother?
Brother.
You know,
Yeah,
there was different
that's the
side
question
little things,
everybody wants to know.
there was different little side things that speculations and
Mhm.
uh, they even had I watched Wolverine in the X-Men recently and kind of
Mhm.
went through the commentary all on that too. So I like to go through some of the commentaries and just
Yeah,
to refresh my memory on what they did in the animated. And he actually, I know this kind of deviates from the the comics, but they had Mystique as a former
Mhm.
love interest of his before they put the adamantium in him, and then he that kind of changed him. They never kind of explained that why that. I guess just the process and him feral and everything. It just
Right.
wasn't the same man.
True.
But that was interesting
Yeah,
that
but
they stuck Mystique in there with him in that
yeah,
because that would have been an interesting
that goes.
pair.
Yeah, it just goes to show that he does show human emotions. So
Oh yeah, I mean it may be short and sweet, like
right,
his response to Professor X, "F you,"
mm,
or no, it said "F off" to
right,
Magneto and Professor X when they came in the bar to get him.
yeah.
While he was in Spider Man and His Amazing Friends, Wolverine had an Australian accent. Laugh out loud. I had
I
forgotten that.
know,
I had forgotten
I
that.
know.
Yeah, that was kind of
A
early on
lot.
in the early '80s. I
Yeah,
guess I guess it's kind of like
the guy.
Captain Boomerang with adamantium instead of
Yeah,
boomerang. Yeah,
mm,
because
yeah,
I believe Captain Boomerang is an Aussie, isn't he?
yeah.
From
He
Dick.
is.
Yeah,
He is.
I think I watched Suicide Squad not too long ago again,
Yeah,
which was kind of a severely disappointing movie.
I know. The first Suicide Squad movie with Will Smith. That was disappointing.
Yeah,
In my opinion, they rushed it.
yeah,
You have to remember the Suicide Squad is made up of all of the villains of the Justice League,
right.
and most of these characters hadn't appeared in a movie yet,
Yeah.
which makes it hard.
Well, and everybody was wanting to see Harley, and to me, that's kind of like Venom. They rushed
Exactly.
Venom, and they should not have had Venom in
No.
there anyway. Do a separate movie like they did years later in 2018, I
Right.
believe it was, and
Yeah.
and it was fairly successful. And they did a second one, which was, eh,
Uh, Yeah.
you know, Carnage, Woody Harris.
Now that now that was good. Now that was a good casting call there.
Yeah. Well, they had already cast him in the first movie, right, as the
Yeah.
character at the end
Yeah.
of the movie, maybe in the
Yeah. They
trailer.
did.
Yeah. What's his name? Cassius.
What- it's Cat. I think that's his name. I'm
Okay.
not sure off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah. He was, big. He was kind of like a Venom derivative. I always thought, but
Yeah.
Spider-Man derivative. But I mean, he's had doppelganger and all kinds of different uh, derivatives off his character. I guess it's inevitable, right?
Yeah.
Uh, just like kind of Wolverine's probably had some too. So I got done at work and thought I might get this stream out of the way, which is being bumped back and bumped back for a couple
Yeah.
of days. Uh,
Yeah, like I told you earlier, I saw that you were gonna do it last night. I
hmm
waited and waited and waited, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then decided to go to bed. Then decided to go to bed because he's not coming.
Yeah. Well, I apologize for that. I had, I guess I'd forgotten what time I'd put it on it. Had not,
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
I was actually
you had it
working.
set for.
I was actually working. Apparently, I didn't
Uh,
set it back far enough.
you had it set for 1:30, I think it was.
1:30, and I
He's
wasn't
about
even
still at work.
home. I wasn't even home yet. Yeah.
You was still at work.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been coming in about 2:30, actually,
No,
something like that.
that explains a lot.
Hmm. Well, that's good because I ain't got a lot to say. Not tonight, anyway. Uh,
Well, as long as you get your cover done
yeah, I
at
mean,
some point.
oh,
At some point, yeah.
it'll get done. It'll get done. Yeah, I'm not in a rush. Not in a rush for it. Uh,
Never rush.
but I would like to see it finished.
Yeah,
Uh,
you and everyone else. Mm.
do you think so? Well,
Yeah, you and everyone else who knows about it.
yeah, yeah. I guess.
You don't want.
I guess this would be my first major inking job that I've shown. You know, done a few other things, but when it comes to showing my art, I really haven't shown a lot. Uh,
All right.
but I'm working on that. Working on getting more out there and helping myself along too.
Yeah, you work on it as you do.
You know,
And in some cases, it's all about, do you feel it's worthy of showing everyone,
hmm
or, or do you want that shock and awe of when somebody buys it?
well, I'll this stuff I'm working on now. I'm not really going for shock and awe. Most of it's been shown when it was drawn and other things, but uh, but yeah, I do think you probably need to keep certain things under wraps, right?
Yeah,
Uh, John Malin had mentioned that about a release of his cover, one of his covers, that he wanted to wait to closer, even though it was finished, to release date, so that get that impulse buyer, right? Go, ooh, that's
right.
cool. Gotta have that.
Hmm.
If you wait 3 months and it's like, I seen that like 3 months ago, it's,
Yeah,
you might not get that impulse buy. I don't know if I can't disagree with uh,
no,
that
you
thinking.
can't. You can't disagree with that thinking because every sale is a
Mhm.
good thing.
Yeah. Well, I do see that there are some people see it for the first time. They're like, wow, and you want it available right then, not 6 weeks
Right.
from then, because the
Exactly.
enthusiasm may not be there. They may have moved on. Uh,
Right.
Definitely some wisdom in that, and that's not what that's why I've kind of hinted at uh, John Dillard's cover that he's done for me for Devil Flyer number
Mhm.
one. Don't want overexposure of that.
Yeah.
Very proud of.
Yeah.
job he did.
John is also known for integrating part of the story into his covers.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's when I kind of delayed it, delayed delayed the
yeah,
release, and said I want to go big. I want to go epic. I want to make it the
yeah,
best it can be. Which I've always said that, but it's like, look, I'm running into some delays, and I need to make the hard call and just put it on the
yeah,
not the back burner, but delay its release, work on it, get a little further down the road on it,
yeah.
and
Sometimes you have to do that.
that may be disappointing. Although I haven't heard any disappointment out of anybody, I think they know I'm committed to coming out with Devil Flyer #1. But yeah, there was just too much, stacking up. A little bit of it's not too bad. Uh, you're like, well, yeah, I can get that. I don't have the lettering done on this story, but I can do that here soon. Or coloring for that hasn't been done, but and part of it was a money issue, right? Paying artists to do said work. So
Yeah.
it's like I'll just wait for the money to come in, and that's what I'm working
Mhm.
on every night,
Hey.
getting the money to pay for some of this stuff, and then we'll make some progress.
Well, as I've heard some people say, comics is a medium for control freaks,
Well, I feel like I
especially
was
if you,
in
especially if you
total
plan on.
control. I felt
Yeah.
like I wasn't in total control of things, events, and how I would want them to be, and how they actually, you know,
Are. Yeah.
could could make it the best that it could possibly be. Then it's like, yeah, I need to make the realistic call that, I mean, for my comic, I would have had to delay it a couple. Well, wanted to delay it for a couple weeks, just 3 weeks at first, just because they didn't have uh, the cart option over there. You had to buy everything individually, and now you can put it
Yeah.
on the cart and buy it all at once, and that's a big thing. So you know it it lets that platform get a little bit of the bugs out, in the meantime.
Yeah.
And now we've seen, like RJ said, there's a couple campaigns, AR-13L, and
Mhm.
Mark made, getting ready to possibly hit 100,000 over there. You got
Yeah.
Mike Barron and Pat Broderick's Bronze Star over there, getting ready to hit maybe 100,000 over there.
Hey,
That speaks well of the platform
it
a-
does.
and its validity. You know, we
Hmm.
were praising, and we should have been, John Dillard passing 2,000
Hey.
on his quickly put together campaign. He put together that whole thing in 2 weeks, and he's quick though. He can do that,
Yeah.
and I had no doubt he'll deliver and deliver quick as well. But
Well, you have to understand. John's book was finished when he started putting the campaign together. That,
did he already have it done? The Canadian Tussle?
now I'm talking about his first
You're
book.
you're talking about the Buckler. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking about Canadian Tussle.
the Canadian Tussle. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
if he's finished with it or not.
Well, I know he has several pages, several things done on it by
Mm.
now. Yeah, I'm sure. So I'm just kind of jumping around here myself, inking a
Yeah.
little bit on each character. Uh, Inking some on Bog here and Sea Demon. I've worked a little on Silver Boa. Haven't touched Devil Flyer or Interman or Bystander or TM yet. But, well, no, I did do a little bit on TM there. So it's kind of seeing, trying to stay with one nib here,
Mm-hmm.
one pin width, and do some of the thinner lines first, some of the details.
Yeah.
Peter Palmetti's inking. I don't know if he started. I know he's working on Retro, his own book, and but hopefully he started his version of inking on this. I would love to see that, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have mine done about that time too.
Yeah.
So perseverance. Here we are again, inking on it. I don't care how many hours I have into it. I just want it to turn out.
Yeah.
Uh,
You just want it to turn
Best I
out
can
good.
do at the moment. Best I can do at the moment. Let's put it that way. Hopefully, it's the best I can do, but no guarantees, right?
Okay.
Leave myself some wiggle room there, geek.
Mhm. Well, as I tell a lot of new artists, don't worry about getting it perfect.
You know, artists can be perfectionists, as you were alluding
Yeah.
to earlier. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, some are, and some are. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's all kinds out there, but there's a major faction of artists that are really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who was somewhat.
I was hyperactive. I don't know as a child. I would like to think I've settled down a little bit since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, never let
Hey,
anyone compare you to any other artist.
Jonas, the winner of my last contest,
Mm-hmm.
who won that sweet Golden Age comic.
Oh yeah.
Uh, did you get in on that, Mighty Geek? Did you? Were you?
I missed.
You missed that. Okay. Well.
No, I missed it by that much.
Oh, that's right. Didn't you guess 40? And it was
Uh,
44 on the nose.
I guess
Yeah, I thought
I
you were
guess
going to
40.
win at first. I really did. I
I
thought,
guess
oh,
I
Mighty
guess
Geek got it.
40. And
Yeah.
well, someone beat me by saying 44.
Yeah. I mean, he nailed it exactly. I'll be mailing that out, but now I'm wanting to mail it out with your charter member card, and that's what I'm going to have the printer work on here. Toot
All
sweet.
right.
And what do you think, Mighty Geek? This on the back of it, this patch design on the back
Oh yeah.
card,
Oh yeah. That would be cool.
and then on the front, let's see, what did I have in mind for the front? Here it is. And then I was thinking about using this on the front somewhere, right?
Oh, Devil Fly's helmet. That's cool.
Okay, that's more to
Yeah.
the original design of his helmet,
Mm,
uh, more Roman-esque, I guess, or
yeah.
Greek. Uh, John kind of did the superhero thing. He put a beak on him. What can I say? We're going with that, but we're starting out with that. But believe me, that'll be changed.
Yeah.
You'll be going through a lot of changes. It you know, you'll be.
Mm.
everything goes as planned, and it probably won't. It'll probably change. But hey, there's time.
There's time. There's always time.
Well, I'm going to make time. Don't ask me how I make time. It's a very lengthy process, and not everybody can do that.
Very lengthy, very tedious. So,
You know,
besides, if we told you, you wouldn't
if I have
understand
to send
anyway.
to Sweden, I want to send his charter member card with it instead of mailing separate. So I hope he doesn't mind the delay. In fact, his payment just came in today. They just released the funds. So,
Okay.
but I do have your envelopes addressed, and I will be putting that there. Uh, am I getting confused? Maybe I'm getting confused.
Nah.
I don't know. Maybe I was. Uh, maybe I'm getting confused. It's early in the morning.
Ooh, you just got home from work, so
Yeah. Well, that's no excuse. Let's see. Let me check
that
my.
is an excuse.
Okay.
That's a valid excuse.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Um, I'm just forgetting who purchased what or who won what. Anyway, I guess I just need to look at the envelopes. That'd be the quickest thing. Huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. So So the Devil Flyer needs to go to North Carolina. His Golden Age book. The soonest I can mail out though is well, if these funds hit the bank in the next day or so, I'll send it out to you. Well, no, that won't be
Uh,
enough because I have to send it all the way to Sweden.
mm,
Or no, wait a
all
minute.
right.
Okay, his win, his golden age. I've got a couple things I need to mail out. Devil Flyer, that's going to North Carolina. I can send that out, no problem. Uh,
Yeah.
in the next couple of days, once his funds hit the bank.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
now, yeah, he says no problem. I'm start to sketch on a fan art, trying to get a good style for it. Okay, great, awesome. I need that's my next project is to get as many of my character designs out there so that people can do fan art, and it'll have a large fan art section in it.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if there's and it kind of has a reference guide for people. So if they want to draw a Devil Flyer, they know what it looks like. If they want to draw Cortex, they know what it looks like. If they want to draw
Yeah.
Sea Demon, they know what it looks like. Or Lady of the Night, they know what she looks like. So I'd like to get a reference, not only for myself, but people that might enjoy
Right.
and what I'm trying to do, which is build a universe of characters with various powers and
Hmm.
conflicts and
Yeah.
personality. Yeah. Like Inner Man, he's John Dillard's drawing the 2-page story that I have, and then he has a much, much bigger story in the way it's planned now, unless I do something earlier with him, which that's a possibility too. I've been thinking about that.
Yeah.
Do I need to do another Inner Man before that? Although Devil Flyer was to be his introduction. I worked Dirty Joe into 3 different stories in Devil Flyer #1, and he was supposed to be just in the 2-pager, that hockey jersey.
Mm.
So he's expanded. So given it enough time, interweaving, enough thought,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, I just wanted you to know, Jonas. I'll get your book out to you Thursday, hopefully. Let's see. Yes, Thursday. Next Thursday in a week. That's when I get my first paycheck.
Hmm.
that'll be good.
Yeah.
Actually, I should have gotten paid for one day, but they kind of held it over for some reason, and that just means more on my first check, right? Which will be a little soft anyway. It's not like we're working every day. I was glad we took Tuesday off because that was the day after my oral surgery, and
Yeah.
I could rest, and I really needed it. My mouth is still very sore, swollen, stitches, couple
Mm.
stitches. Camel Moon. What about? Oh, did some fan art to Camel Moon? I may have seen it. And no cover before the book was created on Twitter. Uh, Gonna do a fan art contest, Jonas. Try and get you reference and start posting up some of this stuff. Um, I'm major boomer at this, but we've got time. We've got time. But when I run the contest, the way it's looking now, at least $250, and you get to be on the cover of my next project. And uh, the second place will be on the back cover. The third place will be in the center of the book, the centerfold, and we'll have a best color and a best black and white honorable mention, which will, they'll all have some prizes or something, right?
Yeah.
Make it interesting. We're still putting that together, uh, but I believe in making it fun, whatever you do.
It should be fun.
And it wasn't that long ago that I actually thought up what I my next project really should be. Which I have some stuff in development with Sea Demon and other things, but uh, yeah, I've definitely got a direction for my next book to come out before Devil Flyer #1 comes out, and but that is paramount to finish everything up on that, and put together the campaign. Probably I'm shooting for March 1st as a launch date for which
Yeah.
was the original launch date supposed to be for this year, which was a little unrealistic uh, for if I wanted the project 100% done, which a lot of it is completed, but we're going to get a lot more completed here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And that will be fun
Of
to
course.
get that done and completed. Get to see some new art produced for a couple of the stories within it. Some of the art's complete. Doc Blaylock's working on another Bog story,
Mm.
another Grey Tail story, which it's all it's all kind of the uh, it's just an extension. I had time. He wanted something to do. Devil Flyer #1 hasn't come out yet, so why not have him do another story for the book
Hey, why
using
not?
the same character that he so enjoyed drawing the first time? And that was one reason he uh, kind of wanted to do Bog is he had his Gollum character, similar character. He could really identify with that character. So
Yeah.
uh, it's like, yeah, do another one, sure. And I have him working on some other stuff as well. As soon as he gets to it. Right now, he's been pretty busy of late, but I'm in no hurry. I believe in anybody I work with that we have plenty of time. Give that person plenty of time to do their very best.
Exactly.
Because isn't that what kind of CG is all about, right?
Yep.
Not not on the DC or Marvel bandwagon where it has to be turned in last Thursday.
Right.
You can actually refine it, make it the best it could possibly be.
Hmm.
I think that's a good model.
It is.
If you're going to draw people back to comics, uh,
Yeah.
and that's a big haul geek, as you know.
Yeah, it is.
Because I mean, manga's out there, right? And people's habits of what they buy and stuff are have changed, right?
Yeah.
So we had to snap their head back somehow. Like Mike Barron said, he writes stuff that surprises him.
Yeah, I
If it
know.
surprises him, it will surprise the reader. And it's
Yeah.
those type of stories that are going to draw people back into comics. If the exposure's there in the distribution, and I think it's only a matter of time that that'll come along.
Yeah.
But we had to start out with making a better product uh,
Yeah.
than than this manga crap. And whoever
Well,
does that, props to them. Glad they enjoy it. But from what I'm told, it's not their best work, right?
well, as far as manga goes,
Uh-huh.
it all depends because it all depends on what you like to read.
Right.
Because there's a book for everything and everybody.
But there's nothing over there that we couldn't do something similar over here with,
Right.
even in a manga style.
Yeah.
I mean, there
Cause
are a lot of CG manga type things out
hmm
there. Ryan Cardinal's got a great looking book. Uh, my gosh, one of the most successful campaigns, I can't remember the name of it, but did over $300,000. Now he had a major platform, but that art style even appealed to me. Lumina
yeah.
Vox, another one that's different. I mean, there's all kinds of different art styles out there, right? You visit a museum. I
Yeah.
enjoy everything from Jackson Pollock to surrealism to cubism to and some people
Hmm.
don't like modern art. Okay, go to the Metropolitan. Look at some Greek stuff,
Right.
or you don't even have to do that. Just look at um, Whistler's mother, or Sargent, or I mean, there's all types of
There's so
artwork.
many.
There's something for
It's,
everybody.
yeah. And
I
that's
remember.
what and
Go
that's
ahead.
what the Japanese did. They said, "Ooh, we're gonna make this so everybody can read it."
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of dividing it up into genres like America we do over here,
Right.
they they had the system where they divided it up among demographics. If you are a teenage girl, there are stories for you. Teenage boys, which we all know involve Dragon Ball and a few others.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the crowd 18 plus for both men and women.
Should we be going that direction? You think going by demographics?
Yeah, because
Take that into consideration.
yeah, take that into consideration because
Uh-huh.
not all your entire audience is not going to be a bunch of 13-year-old boys.
Right.
This is not the 90s.
Well, I like that. I like that there seems to be a little bit for everybody out there. Uh,
Mhm.
as many artists and writers are out there, it seems like Bronze Star. Well, that's kind of weird Western, but there's Six Gun Gorilla. There's other
Right,
Western theme. The Western comic is not dead, at least within
right.
crowd. Uh,
No,
hero stuff is certainly not dead.
no,
But you would think that would be exhausted because the movies just seem to be wearing and wearing,
wearing and wearing. I
you
know.
know, in its death throes because they're not going to do bank while they're going with this woke message. And
No.
the CG like on Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh yeah, that was,
God, you know.
they took a master work for Wonder Woman and just screwed it up.
Yeah, what the first Wonder Woman really appealed to people, I think, and
I know.
was a good starter.
Hmm.
Uh, and then they completely,
Even though they just changed which war that she appeared in instead
right.
of World War II, they went
I
with,
kind of like that because I'm really intrigued by World
yeah,
War One and the brutality of it,
a lot of people are.
and and she was old enough to be in World War One and World War Two
Right.
in the movie version, and I kind
Yeah.
of like that that kind of speaks to her immortality to a way, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Although her origin is, who knows what origin they're going with her. Did
Yeah.
they tell her origin?
Still part of it.
Hmm. I mean, she was the first big, really big female role model, right? She was meant to
Yeah.
be a female role model
Yeah.
from the get go.
Yes, she was. The thing is, the majority of the, ma- the male readers got a hold of her stories and was like infatuated with it and
Yeah,
just ran with it. They just took it and ran with it. They could care less about the all the bondage scenes and all of that was put in it.
yeah. They did have
They
a
just,
few of that early on, didn't they? There was
yeah.
plenty.
What what was
Comics,
interesting about what was interesting
comics
about it was,
was reaching millions of people then, though.
yeah,
Cheap entertainment.
yeah,
I think that's one of the amazing things that we don't talk about in CG is wow, $25 for a comic book. Yeah, I would have scoffed at that at one time. It better be a big thick book, blah blah blah.
yeah.
But now, I see with the
Mm,
trailblazers that have come before, I see that people are willing to pay for that for a quality product.
right,
And that's that's the thing. It
right,
has to be presented right,
uh,
right. It has to be
right,
sold right. It has to be not necessarily a slick campaign, but it has to be professional looking,
right,
uh, and just about anybody with a computer can do that for you with a few. But the art has to be there, the writing. I think
right.
I think it. But I've seen some. But again, yeah, I do believe you. It is about the creator as well, right?
Hmm.
They
Yeah,
need they need to know you. They
yeah.
definitely know you. This is a direct sell model, and is it the
Mm.
be all and end all? No.
No,
I mean,
it's going to improve over time. We all know this.
yeah, I think I think it's on model to. I
Hmm.
mean, I think it's probably ahead of some people. I remember before this year even started, they were saying, "Oh, 2023, we're going to make bank. We're really going to do good." And
Yeah,
in a downturned economy, um, I didn't doubt that because
no,
I think the enthusiasm's there. I think the drive is there. I just hope it
yeah,
doesn't figure out. I hope that people will, and I mean, with Pit Omnibus and other things like that coming down the pike, and what
yeah,
Billy Tucci's doing, and um, I think it's got a good, the quote that people have worked professionally in comics
yeah,
are definitely a driving force with everything. But I think that the enthusiasm's there and the models there, and it's just being improved on, like with Fund My Comic and
yeah.
other things people are developing and trying out different things, different websites. Uh, people trying different things, and that's a good.
Exactly.
That's innovation. That's I don't see that
Mhm.
happen uh, with Marvel or DC.
No.
Not
The
at
thing
all.
is, the thing is, With Marvel and DC, you have to. They really don't want to invest in anything new.
Right. They want to kind of
And
rest on their laurels for the last 90 years.
yeah,
And just, and right now they should be doing bank. They should be
they
coming into
should.
their own because they have all these anniversaries that come around and
Hmm.
they're genuinely, I mean, Action Comics 1000 sold well
Yeah,
and Detective Comics 1000 sold well. But how often does that come along?
it's
You
not very often.
and
Nowadays, not very often.
they had like I don't know 40 different variant covers or something. It was
Hmm.
ridiculous amount.
Yeah,
Ridiculous. Um, and of course that's going to spike sales for a short time. But what do you do with the months in between? The no man's land
right,
between the Action Comics 1000 and the Detective Comics 1000. You have to have more than that.
right.
I'm going to get this because it's
Hmm.
1000.
But the
And they
thing
might get
is,
if it's any good, they might get 1001 or 1002, and it may peter
right,
off after that, which it probably did. I
yeah,
know it did for me. I stuck with it for a while, up to about 1007, 10, somewhere around in there, and then I
yeah,
kind of petered off, tried to get, you know, those later action. And
yeah,
one reason the opportunity was there, but I'm like, I may be holding in my hands one of the last DC comics ever produced or one of the last
yeah,
Marvel because they've been putting out such crap. That means lower
yeah.
print runs. Amazing
Yeah,
Spider-Man 60,000. That's a laugh.
I know.
Batman, the only thing selling over at DC. That's a laugh. You know
Mhm.
they should be the
Yeah,
standard.
but- exactly. Problem is the writing now. The stories that the writers that they're hiring want to write
Yeah.
doesn't fit with superhero comics.
Well, Donny Cates seems to be one exception to the rule.
Donny Cates looks at the job of a superhero as just that, a job. So
Well, that
he
may
can
be, but
tell
he might. He did. He seems to
he,
be. Have done some things like crossover that captured some interest. Thor,
yeah,
I think he was doing because
mhm,
he was kind of hinting at a DC crossover, maybe, or in
right.
between and Image. He kind of played with that, which is that I guess turned out to be kind of a ploy. And then and Carnage, I think he worked on Carnage, which I think
Yeah.
sold pretty well a few years back, 4 or 5 years back. Doesn't even seem that long ago, but I guess it has been. Uh,
But then again, you have certain characters that work with the type of stories that they want to tell.
mhm.
Venom and Carnage happen to be a couple of those characters.
Yeah, I mean, Donnie likes that dark stuff, right?
Right.
I mean, he's a Satanist after all, and his wife, among other things. But
Yeah. He's a guy when all else fails, you can count on him to be consistent.
consistently what? Bad or good or different or
Consistently mediocre.
mediocre? Okay. I've not really read any of his stuff. I know I have some in my collection of books that he's written, but
Yeah.
not read any of it. Nothing's really that I well now I read maybe an issue or two of crossover,
Yeah.
uh, but nothing that really stuck with me. I think it may have read some of the Thor. I was kind of
Hmm.
interested in that. I think he made was it him that made Thor a Herald of Galactus? I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah. And that was kind of I mean, why not? Everybody else has been, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it's a future story being told.
Yeah. Donnie's real good at telling futuristic type stories
Yeah.
that may or may not become canon.
Yeah, I mean, just make it up whole cloth as you go along, right?
Yeah.
Nobody will notice. That seems kind of easy, the easy way to me
Yeah.
to 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 write, the safe way.
Hmm.
You know.
You know what's funny? If Jim Shooter was still editor in chief at Marvel,
Hmm.
Donny Cates would have never gotten the job.
Oh, there'd been a lot over there that wouldn't have gotten a job, I'm
The
sure.
job,
Yeah.
because we all know how no nonsense Jim Shooter was.
Well, we've heard stories, and I have met the guy and actually given him a hard time, which I kind of regret, because he did make the trains run on time,
He did.
and he's done a lot for comics. I
Yeah.
mean, if it wasn't with Defiant, Valiant, it's
Right.
something, right?
Yeah.
Marvel, of course. Uh, and I didn't know his background as far as being junior high
Hmm.
student in
Yeah.
high in high school writing Legion of Superheroes. So uh, starting out about 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the 60s. I mean, that type of thing has not been seen since like the 30s or 40s, where Joe
I
Kubert
know.
started out. Some of these people, Siegel and Schuster, with
Hmm.
Superman and other things, Slam Bradley.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you just haven't. That was interesting that Mike was talking about hard boiled
Mhm.
crime is
Yeah.
what is sort of the genre that he likes to write.
Yeah.
It's that's kind of in a Punisher wheelhouse in a way.
It
Some
is.
he's done on Punisher. Yeah, if you don't want superheroes in your book, treat it like a separate book, right? That's what he did with
Right.
Punisher
Yeah.
for 5 years, and there was
Hmm.
never any capes or anything,
No.
and he didn't want any.
Mm-mm.
It didn't set what he was trying to do.
Right.
But I do think, like uh, Patrick Parnell, he's been doing. Now he might say Johnny Phantasm's kind of a hero, but he and he is, right. But I mean, not
Yeah.
well. Like he's not your Superman type, right?
Right.
When he did what was it, Star, one of his last ones that he did. He did Sleepy Hollow, and then he did the superhero book, and it seemed to sales figures seemed to do pretty good on that compared to, of course, each one's building on itself, right?
Right.
Um, but I think there is a thirst out there for superhero stuff still.
Yeah.
So it has good characterization. That's looking very nice, Mighty Geek, by the way.
Thanks. Thanks.
Blow that up just for a second, show everybody. We do have people in the house. May not be chiming in, but
Yeah.
at
Well,
the moment,
the thing is, when you're looking at superhero stories, you're looking for that. How can I put this? That Knight's Valiant thing, and it's supposed to be innate within your superhero.
can you kind of say that again so I can kind of?
So so when you're reading about superheroes, you're kind of looking for that Knight's Valiant. thing
That
and
Night
that Valiant
Valiant. Oh yeah,
Valiant
yeah.
aspect. Yeah,
Uh huh. Like
about
Prince
that.
Valiant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
Oh yeah. You want that. You want the hero to be a hero and have a
right.
honor code.
Exactly.
Even Wolverine, you can see he. I mean, they
He
sent him
has one.
man, right?
Yeah.
He was like a shogun at one, or not a shogun, but uh,
He was a samurai in one.
he was a samurai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That see
Which,
that added a new facet to his personality
yeah.
in the early '80s,
Yep.
early on. Um, while Barry Windsor Smith in the early '80s was doing the Weapon X backstory, so uh, I mean, you could tell different times of his life, right? I mean, I
Right.
don't know if it's John Byrne, but there was a 2-issue prestige format where he was in World War II with Captain America.
Yeah.
I think he was part of a Canadian force because he's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
He's
He,
a Canadian mutant.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was one story that was told where he fought for the Union side in the Civil War, which I found to be fascinating.
Yeah.
It was,
Well, is that not
but
canon? Because
I'm
I
not
mean,
sure. I'm
they've
not
kind of
sure if it's canon or not.
switched that now, right? With
Yeah.
the late 1800s story and origins,
Right. Yeah.
right? You know, which see they defined it now. So
Hmm.
is it a what if?
I know a lot of people were asking about his age. That was it. That
Well,
was
yeah.
the
I mean, why
main
not?
reason for doing it.
Centuries old, right? If he ages very slowly and he has a healing factor,
Yeah.
he could. We didn't know, and that was part of the mystery of the character. That's like
Yeah.
uh, Batman coming out and telling the whole world, "I'm Batman," without the
You're
cowl
right.
on, and it's Bruce Wayne. You
Right.
know, the mystery is
Yeah.
gone. The magic is gone.
Exactly. That's why if you read some of the previous Catwoman stories in Batman,
Right?
you'll notice how she has a disdain for Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Isn't that like his? You would think that his pheromones would kick in and
Mm,
pick up on that, but apparently not.
no. Well,
You're
the
not.
thing
I
is,
I
yeah,
guess she's only got eyes for one man.
right.
Makes her hard for one.
She's in love with the mask, not the man.
Yeah. Earth too. They got married.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And their daughter was Huntress, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I have to make some hard decisions about certain things on this here pretty soon. Once I eliminate everything else, there's a few
Yeah.
things that need to be changed that are incorrect. Just the like TM's end of a sword here. It's uneven, and it's supposed to be
Mhm.
three prong, pretty even.
Ah.
Yeah, little things.
It's the little things that'll get you.
Yeah. Well, see, I know to correct Peter may not. These
Mm.
things really should have been done in the, you know, on the pencil stage. Uh,
Mm, Then again, there's one other thing about the pencil stage. You
Hmm.
don't get a clear picture until you ink it.
Well, that's true. But my concern is Peter does not know my characters or their weapons and stuff in the way they should look, and so something's
Right.
off. Like I had Vic change the first version. Devil Flyer was not holding his trident;
Okay.
it was going through his hand.
Ah.
So we need to change that where he's actually holding the trident. So he redrew that, and he is now holding his trident.
Like I said, there were many things that we don't catch right away
Right.
in the pencil stage.
I don't claim to catch everything, but a few things.
Hmm. Yeah. We don't catch everything in the pencil stage,
Yeah.
but as we ink it, we start to see it a little more clearly,
Right.
and
Those.
when we go. That's when we start asking ourselves, "Does this look right?"
I never asked that. You know why? I may get the wrong answer.
Did you say you're afraid of getting the wrong answer?
Well, I didn't say I was afraid. I just said I don't go there.
Did you don't want to go there?
Go there. What have you been doing tonight prior to
Well,
this?
prior to this, I was watching quite a few old martial arts movies.
Ah, yeah, you're a big martial arts person, aren't you? I've
Yeah,
heard that.
I
Uh,
was I was watching one called Death Force.
what are you watching them on?
Tubi.
Oh, Tubi. Okay, they have
Yeah,
pretty good selection.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching Dark Shadows over there, although the last few days I haven't. But yeah, I'm going to get back to that. I do want to because Devil Flyer number 1 has a vampire story.
Okay.
Although I haven't met any vampires, and I just want to, it's gothic storytelling, right? So
Yeah.
uh, just kind of want to refresh.
The thing about vampire stories is you can have one of two focuses. If you
Hmm.
focus on the vampire, you can do anything you want with the vampire. Make him
Okay.
part of society. Make him part of society. And just run with it from there. Or if your focus is on the vampire hunter, then one specific vampire is gonna be a problem for everybody else, including other vampires. Because as they say, a vampire's greatest strength is his ability to blend in.
Like a chameleon, huh?
Yeah. And if someone keeps drawing attention to them, they can't do that. So it wouldn't be uncommon for vampires to turn on each other.
Yeah. I
And
thought
that's one of the things that humanizes them.
yeah, I mean, there's a big allure to vampires, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, with it, and I guess Bela Lugosi kind of
Hmm. Yeah.
sexualized it for the very first time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And George Hamilton took it a step further.
Oh yeah, much later, right? 70s.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But all these
Well,
things
you
are
can say Christopher Lee as well in Hammer films.
exactly.
Windblock in the house. Hello, Windblock.
Mhm.
It's good to see you again. I'm wondering what to do with the shaded areas. It's easy just to grade stuff out with pencil, but it's like, okay, how do I ink that?
Well,
And it be color. Uh,
what color are you using?
well, in this, it would be like greens and browns for Bog, because he's made of
Okay.
earth and the way he has him drawn and a lot of vines and things.
Mhm. Well, you'll need two green, a light green and a dark green, a dark
Oh, I'm not
brown.
going to color it. I'm just thinking the darn thing.
I know, I'm just saying that's how your
Yeah,
colorist would color it. As long as you make it known where the shadows are.
right. Well, he's kind of done that with pencil, but it's like, okay,
Hmm.
wow. I don't know if you heard that cat, but something's going on. Really, I guess a cat fight.
Oh no.
His wife's here.
Be
Maybe both of them are.
careful.
That's cool. They're fighting over me. Uh, Dragon's Fang. It looks awesome. Uh,
Mhm.
Windblock says.
Thank you.
Let's take a closer look there. I like that you have the stylized logo there,
Yeah,
script, but it's not so stylized that you can't
can't
that it
read it.
gets
Right.
lost in translation.
Yeah, that's
It's bad branding when you can't read it at a glance.
exactly.
At least I feel it is. That's just personal opinion,
It
folks.
is. That's why,
Yeah,
which is why all fonts don't always work.
yeah. But now you can come up with a lasting font. Look at Coca Cola, and I know that it's
Oh
been
yeah,
tweaked, stuff like that. But
it's been tweaked, but
yeah,
but basically it's a handwritten script.
yeah, and there's
That's all you got to
nothing
remember.
written stuff.
Right.
Uh, sound effects in comics are a good example.
Oh yeah,
Some of the
those are the
best
best.
stuff. Just ask Barry Windsor Smith. He's made a whole career out of that, right?
Yep. Quite a few guys have made their mark by lettering sound effects.
Hmm. I guess Eric Weathers gets to do a lot of that, huh?
Yeah.
In his lettering. We need to probably bring some more letterers like that, you know,
Yeah.
and need to bring them in,
Anyone,
right?
yeah. Anyone who can do hand lettering,
Mhm.
you you have a friend for life. I can do it.
Windblock says, "Good morning, everyone. Rex, what are you drawing? I am inking my Virgin, and that means no letters on it.
No
There's
text
no room
whatsoever.
for letters. There's 14 characters, heroes and villains. I'm inking the A side, or if you will, or the
the
front cover
heroes, the
to
hero side of it.
the hero side of Devil Flyer uh, wraparound Virgin cover, drawn by Vic King. Uh, this is my inking version, and Peter Palmetti is also inking a scan copy of it. So that's what I'm working on tonight, right here. It's coming along. I'm kind of working on his chest here still, cross hatching. Uh, and quite a bit on bog. There's quite a bit of just sticks and vines and leaves and other things to do on him. I've worked on some of the rocks and some of the finer lines. tonight. Uh, Slaver's tongue began that, and just a little bit. Uh, here's catch it, getting pretty close to not finished, but pretty close to getting closer anyway to doing the back cover with the villains. Quite a bit of that was done last time. You spend about 6 hours on it. You get, you know,
You'll be surprised at what you get done.
be surprised what you get done. Yeah, altogether, I don't know. I've done like 11 and a half, more than 11 and a half hours on both these already. But I'm not counting up everything per se, just to be counting.
Yeah.
Should I keep as far out like that or up close like this? Maybe up close. You can see what Mighty Geek's working on. I'm just looking down at
Yeah.
my crotch all the time. That's something I've got to do is get a setup where I can somehow show you what I'm working on. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, I got.
And we'll do that this year. We're going to accomplish a lot this year. Um, if you didn't catch the interview with Mike Barron and RJ today, Critical Blast, go check that out. Coming up uh, on the 4 o'clock shadow, 4 o'clock Central every day. Tomorrow we have Gary Shipman with Mighty Titan talking about Mighty Titan, and then Rick Fix and Apex. It's my turn around again. The last one got struck because of Hex's cartoon, but I played it. I've yet to get that back up. There's a lot that got struck down, but yeah, I got Rex Hex and Apex, and we were having good views on that. We actually had a pretty good one. I'll have to get that one back up, but yeah, 6 weeks ago I got it struck down just almost immediately because of a cartoon. But Rex Hex and Apex at 11 Central on Saturday, we'll have Amy and Keith Gleason from Mighty Mascots on, who was formerly working with Alterna and Peter Samedi. Monday, have Russ Leach, Only Death Can Save Us. Sunday, probably a day of rest and celebrate Topher's birthday. It's Topher's birthday Sunday. So, around Sunday, wish Topher a happy birthday, if you see him. Yeah, I think we could probably take Sunday off. We've got pretty good lineup coming up here, and maybe a chill out stream or something. Maybe I'll ink some more on this cover. Up close looks good. Okay, we'll keep it up close. You can see what he's kind of working on. I'm going to get back to inking this. Maybe I ought to do a tad on the back cover. See if there's something that catches my eye, just so that I can say that I worked on both sides and got a little further with both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was working on his tail scales. And there's some scales that need to be put on this. Either that or he doesn't have scales on his tail. So
make up your mind.
I was finishing up on Kill Dragon's head here too. So I'll do a little bit on that. Let me get a cover sheet here. So don't rub it.
Back to what we were talking about as far as hand lettering and
right.
Those. Back to what we was talking about as far as hand lettering and all those traditional aspects go. Nowadays, you're not going to find many people who do hand lettering.
Yeah, that's sad. You almost have to go to a someone that does it professionally, right? For billboards or
Right.
signs, a
Hmm.
sign maker to have it done.
Exactly.
And man, some of those guys are just talented, aren't they?
Yeah.
Uh, Windblock says, I'm so excited for the weekend. I'm going to HeroCon in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's right.
Oh.
You did say so. That's good. Anybody that we know on the slate there, maybe some professional, famous professionals that's supposed to be there at HeroCon.
Mm.
It's been a while, long while since I've been to any convention. Um,
Yeah.
but conventions are a lot of fun, especially
They are.
your first time to actually get to go to one and
Hmm.
meet
Yeah. Try
people
not
that
to get lost.
there is one thing they say: never meet your heroes; they might disappoint you. There is that
Well,
aspect.
well, I've met all my comic heroes. They haven't disappointed me yet.
Well, you met them all.
Yep.
Well, it's good to know.
All
Not like
except
it's good to know
all
I
except
haven't let you
one.
down yet, geek.
All except one,
Oh,
and that was Jack Kirby.
did you meet him?
No.
No, you didn't get to meet him. Sorry. Yeah, I would have liked to met Jack myself. John Burns, another one. I would have liked that.
John Burns, a nice guy.
You know, owned a nice piece of his art at one time, but not anymore,
And
unfortunately.
Neil Adams was the guy you want to review your portfolio.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's probably the only guy that won't lie to you.
yeah, he'd be brutally honest, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then again, he was brutally honest with Frank Miller, and look what happened to him.
yeah. Please lie to me. Please lie to me.
No, Frank
Yeah,
Miller. No, he was honest with Frank Miller, and Frank Miller improved himself to the point where he was the most sought after artist in comics.
yeah, that's true. Huh?
Dude, I remember when Marvel and DC had open submissions where you can
Oh yeah,
send
they
in
even
your work.
had Marvel even had a kit, right?
Yep. Ooh, if you weren't looking for a job, you would send your submissions to the editor of Spider-Man, the X-Men, and a few other top-selling titles at Marvel
Hmm.
or DC's Trinity.
Well, the only thing that I've ever submitted to any of the professional groups uh, was that character that I designed for Dial H for Hero in the early '80s,
Mm. Yeah.
and I gave him a character I didn't really care to lose.
Yeah.
Created it especially for that. I wanted to keep all my good characters, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, and probably none of them back then would even hardly pass muster today, but it's nice to have submitted something at some
Yeah.
point. Uh,
It was the Batman sketches I sent to DC were they said they were pretty good, but I needed to work on anatomy a little more.
you know,
But then again,
yeah,
at the time I was about 14 years old when I sent that.
yeah. They ought to
But
tell people that, huh? It's probably
yeah,
not the
well,
first time
we
that's
all
been.
we all know if you weren't looking for a job, you sent your submissions to the top selling titles. If you were looking for a job,
Mhm.
you went the opposite direction. Most of us was sending in. submissions in the form of ash cans just to get the critiques.
It's a lot of fun to make an ash can.
It is. You just got to remember when you do it, and when you were sending it in, you'd have to send an ash can with pencils only, with inks only, with letters, because that's the way they'd look at it. And don't expect. And 9 times out of 10, they would send you their remarks, but wouldn't return the ash can.
All right, I did a little bit on this. There's definitely more I
That's
can
it.
do, but I'm going to go back to the main cover. I've got to be honest. I like working on the villains.
Yeah. Most of the time, the villains are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The villains can be a lot of fun.
Well, the
The main,
heroes.
yeah.
My oldest hero on this cover is Sea Demon by decades. I mean, he was like created 92, 93, somewhere
Hmm.
in there.
Yeah.
Uh, all my original art for him was lost in my fire, but
Oh.
we found the way he came about was Devil Flyer. We were looking through some of John's old portfolio and found a piece he did based on my drawings of the
Okay.
design of the character. Now he changed it. Anything John kind of puts his hand to, he changes and makes it his own.
Yeah.
That's one reason we never kind of really gelled and worked on very much together. We
Mhm.
batted around different ideas, but he always wanted to kind of change designs. Hey, good morning, Caroline. How
Yeah.
are you? I
That's
swing in the house.
understandable.
Well, I don't know that I understand it at all. I think if you have a good solid design, stick with it. Don't change
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I mean, if you want to do two pieces, but give me
Right.
one with my original design,
Yeah.
and then if you want to do your take on it, let me see that too. Let
Yeah.
me make a comparison. You know, but some good stuff can come out of that. Don't get me wrong. Collaboration.
Hmm.
It was more me not being more of a collaborator than
Right.
uh, I kind of wanted to do things all by myself somewhat,
Yeah.
or
This
especially
is,
when it came to writing the
yeah.
thing.
This
And
is why. This is why we got in the comics. This is the only medium where you can do it all by yourself.
yeah, but now I find I do like collaborating,
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean I want to give a creative control up of
Yeah.
the story
That's true.
at this point right now. That's just not in the cards. But
And there you go.
maybe one of these days, Mike Barron, I need a story because I'm behind and I need, or something. But right
Mm.
now, we're all good.
Well, there is one piece of advice that I've always taken to heart. It was
Yeah.
given by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Turn to the news. When all else fails, turn to the newspaper.
Well, that's good advice. Absolutely. What's going on? Yeah. You can
You
always
will
find something.
always find a story in the newspaper.
Well, I mean, if not a story, maybe inspiration.
Yeah.
Windblock says Mighty Geek, is that a comic cover?
It's going to be.
It's gonna be. There you
Yeah.
go. But it's the back, front and back, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So what size paper are you working on there? Are you kind of are
This
you
is this is
small?
11 by 17.
11 by 17. So your light box is pretty big, right?
It's my my current light box is an A3 size, which is 10 by 14.
Okay, a little smaller. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I probably got a much smaller one than that.
I've got another one which is 8.5 by 11. I need to get another A2 size one, which is a little bigger, which will
Mm-hmm.
which will hold an 11 by 17 size sheet. Mm. I wore out the last one, so
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
yeah, they're good to have,
Really, with a
especially.
little engineering, you can make one as big as you want.
I know.
Get the plexiglass and the wood and the glue and
Mhm. Yeah,
the bulbs that don't won't light up. I mean, won't heat up.
burn, heat up
Yeah,
too much. Yeah.
burn. Put your
Hmm.
artwork down, it goes whoosh, up in smoke.
Yeah.
Whoops, that's good while it lasts. It's pretty much the size I'm working on, 11 by 17 wind
Mhm.
block set. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty much standard comic book size.
Yeah.
Although with the Devil Flyer story, so that I don't know why. I mean, I
Well,
guess if
if
I'm
you go
taking
out
him at
and
his
buy
word,
no, no, if you go out and buy heavy paper this size, you can find ruled templates online which you can
yeah,
print two sides rather, which is what I did with this. Saves a lot of money on buying the ruled bristle boards.
yeah, imagine it does.
Yeah, and this and most of the dude, most packs will cost you about $24 for about 12 sheets, so 12 to 24 sheets rather, depending on who you get it from. Like I said, but if you take this size and just put a comic book over it, you can measure out how big you need to be for each side. You can measure out each side like so.
Hmm.
So you can make a handmade book comic book size. Just use your comics to measure it.
Well, that's what John did with Devil Flyer story. He did it two size of a modern day comic book, which is very
Mm,
small. I'm
yeah.
really surprised he's a good enough artist that he made it
Mm,
that he got the scale
right.
in there at
Mhm.
that small size, and he had two eye surgeries, one on the
Uh-huh.
right and one on the left while he was drawing it. He took about he took a year, took about a little over a year to draw it, for him to ink
Mhm.
it, and for him to letter it. He did the whole Devil Flyer story. Of course, I
Yeah,
did
work,
the thumbnails and the story, put in the
right.
dialogue.
Hmm. Yeah,
I knew
working
what
at actual print size
you could take the
has its
dialogue out
advantage,
of Devil Flyer and you
and
could
just
read it.
and you can read
You
it.
could read it just
that,
by the
that
pictures. Yeah.
that's the sign of a good story.
Well, I tried. It took me about 8 hours to write, as a matter of fact. The better part of a day is sitting there and different bits and pieces to come to me. Where to. Well, the way I do it, what worked it out was, um, I think very cinematically, right? Because we
Yeah,
live in the age of movies, and
right.
okay, what I want to happen. Okay, I would storyboard it out, but it took me 8 hours to come up with it.
Yeah,
Uh, and there was a couple pages I added. There was a couple pages he added. There was one page I pulled,
yeah.
or well, the one page I pulled was like a pinup page. I think that he did.
Oh,
and I don't know if it's going to make it into the book. It'll make it somewhere.
yeah.
It'll. I will use it, and there's some other pieces that John did that
Now, now the pinup you can use for advertising.
right, and I did use some of John's stuff in advertising and Alterna last year.
Okay.
Uh, I put ads in 5 different books on their last year's winter campaign.
Mm.
3 different type ads for Devil Flyer,
Okay.
and even had a Q code that will, I guess, is still good. To take you to Indiegogo. It's still since it's
Yeah.
still up for a short time. For a short time,
Yeah.
I'm reticent to take it down, geek, till I either run out of books or I get another campaign going to go
Yeah.
fund my comic, because I'm
It's
not going back over to Indiegogo and get shadow banned.
right.
Fortunately, I haven't been. I guess they could shadow ban you at any time.
True.
Maybe I will get that badge of honor by the time I take it down, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll squeak through on this one.
The reason why the shadow ban you is because they may think something you're doing is a little offensive.
Yeah. Well, I said Hell Hydra, or if I haven't, there you go.
There you go.
Captain America as a Nazi is kind of offensive to me, but I try not to get offended.
I know.
Windblock says, Rex, don't forget about the pinup I'm going to send you and some goodies. Oh, I haven't. Okay. All right. Well, let me write this down so that I can correspond with you for sure. Uh, I'll show it again if you have the link over there on your YouTube handy. If you don't, that's fine. He did maybe the earliest
Mhm.
for Windblock.
Oh,
One of the earliest, if not the earliest, Devil Flyer sort of fan art. Uh, Let me write this down. I guess I can rip this out and rip this out of my notebook, because those are questions that I was asking Mike Barron. And I probably asked him everything on this list twice.
uh, except for the part about what was his thoughts on what they did to the Punisher. You didn't get to that one because he had to leave.
Oh, and I mean, that wasn't on my mind anyway. I think that was more of a
Oh,
Shadow Hawk question.
yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. He meant to ask that.
Well, there's always next time. I hope to have him on again with his
Uh,
maybe
and
next project, or
when
something.
he was on Michael Bancroft's show, that was the first thing that was asked of him.
Well, there you go. I kind of like to ask the out of the box questions, the ones that people
Yeah.
don't answer, like, or maybe not. I mean, my last question, because before I did this stream, I came
Mhm.
home and I listened to that interview,
Yeah.
and I don't want a really conversation. Let's put it
Yeah.
to refresh my memory uh, about what was said and because there's a million things going on when you're streaming, and I do have
Yeah.
to block some of it out.
True.
Thank you for the link, Windblock. Take a look at that here in a minute. Just writing your Gmail down. All right. Very nice. All right. Expect a Gmail from me. Toot sweet, pretty quick. Uh, all right. So I had to go to YouTube here to get this link. Can't do it in StreamYard. Oh, look, we're live.
Live from New
And
York. It's
jaw,
Saturday.
my jaw's still sore on both sides.
I'm sorry about that. I
Oh, I'm
apologize
sorry too.
again.
Yeah.
No, I'm apologizing because I reminded you you had that appointment,
Well,
and you were trying to forget about it. I know.
I'm just glad to get it
You had to get it out
done,
of the way. Yeah,
out of the way. Uh, didn't want it to go abscessed again. That
yeah.
one crown came off and
Um,
half the tooth part fell away from it. All right. If you have not seen Windblock or subscribed to him, there's a link to one of his videos that he did. And he did, she did. I never am
uh,
clear on does it matter? I just want to be not, not necessarily pronouns, right?
unless
But
unless the person makes
no,
a
coffee.
unless the person makes a big whoop about it, don't worry about it.
All right. So what you're seeing here is early
Ooh,
last
nice.
year. I forget when this exactly dropped on YouTube. Uh oh, it probably tells right here. What'd you do? Put that back up there again? It says 25 views 1 month ago. I know it's been more than a month ago. This says Noble Press is Windblocks 2023. Uh, okay, here we go. Got volume on and everything. Playing the trailer music. That's cool. With Noble's permission, I hope to publish that piece.
Hey,
Look, I like the person with their head down there that he's protecting.
oh yeah,
You know,
that's pretty cool.
it's not a rock. You know, it's a person there bowed down. I like it. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite Devil Flyer fan pieces I've seen, and I joke you not. Oh well, look who's here. Shadowhawk talks. Yes.
Late
Uh,
as usual.
no, he's been sleeping. I haven't gotten any sleep, but
Well,
that's
that makes
part
two
of
of
me.
us. Still.
Yeah, that's
That
part.
makes two of us, but we don't count.
Yeah, we don't count, but I count my eyelids.
Mm,
All right, Shadowhawk, I'm going to send you the link. You don't have to come in. I know you're in stealth mode and you're getting ready to go to work, but I am going to send you the link nonetheless. Sorry, I haven't done it before now. Glad he got his new job. Can't wait to
hey.
talk to him about that. I'll try and get together with him at 11 at lunch if I'm not stone cold out of it.
Well,
Which is a
it's about
possibility.
5:30. It's about 5:30 now, so
You know,
we might be out of it by 11.
yeah, we might be done by here by 11. You know, we might just take till 11. Who knows? Well, I doubt it. No
You
way.
doubt it.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, man, if I'm feeling it, it definitely
Well,
needs to be done, but there's no rush. No rush. Of course, if I don't rush it,
as you
done.
can see, this guy has darker skin. I decided to give him darker skin.
All right. Sounds good, Rex. Talk to you at lunch. All right. Very good. like I say, if I'm conscious, I will try and be conscious.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Hey, I might surprise myself.
Well,
Yeah. Abby might need to go out, see,
uh,
or some such thing.
yeah.
Yeah. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go.
Hmm. I do like how he did Bog's eyes.
Hmm.
It's like a little mask, like a little
Yeah.
rock mask. Inset.
Now
Inset.
here's a book from the 80s.
Oh yeah, sure is.
Mm.
Now who was that? Caliber Press.
Oh, wait a minute. Eternity.
Oh, okay. All right.
Etern- Eternity Comics did that one. I
I'm
think I've got almost every almost every issue of Shuriken that I could find.
that particular one, but uh, Windblock says I want to work with all you guys. Us artists needs to stick together. Absolutely, Rex.
Absolutely.
Clean up the artwork and send it to you. I just need your info, buddy. Thank you for supporting me, Rex. Absolutely. Yeah, like I say, after this, I will Gmail you before I go to bed, unless you just want it right now.
Mm.
I'm willing to stop what I'm doing. That is
What I
important.
like about But what I
Somehow,
like about this, it's all black and white. Black and white on
I
newsprint.
believe I have some of that in my collection, but I couldn't swear to
Mm.
it. At least an issue.
Yeah.
I could not swear to that at all.
Mm. Yeah.
I am aware of the title, though.
Yeah.
That tells me that I probably do have some of that in my collection somewhere,
You probably do, and just
or have had in a former collection that I no longer have.
yeah.
I picked up a bunch of air sale stuff
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of those too.
when Hastings went out, but the very last one I bought was first appearance of Del Keown artwork,
Ah.
and it's right down here. Picked up a couple copies of that. I figured it'll probably go up, especially when the Pit Omnibus hits.
Yes.
Everybody be going, oh, well, Del Keown, what was his first work? Oh, air sale? Okay.
Hmm. That was when black and white comics were coming back into fashion.
Yes. And I kind of give some of the credit to Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
a big part of it, in my
Big part.
guesstimation.
Yeah. Because most people don't know that the first few issues of that comic was in black and white.
And Gray Tone.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it was the gray toning that really set it apart for me
Yeah.
uh, out of the other black and white books that were being produced at the time.
Mhm.
It was the
Yeah.
gray toning that really captured my imagination with Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that was just me, but apparently,
No, it was a lot of
yeah.
And there was a reason why most did it in black and white because it was cheaper.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's still the same thing. It's still the same way, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that was the initial thing on the black and white ash can
yeah.
uh, for me was
You can do black.
cost.
Right. And after a while, after you made a little more money, you can then invest in color.
Right.
When I start the interior of this book, I'm going to do black and white. I'm just going through my collection of black and white and grayscale books.
Well, I do like some good
So,
black and white artwork. I mean,
yeah,
uh, Pat Broderick had some good black and white artwork on that Bronze Star today that
yeah.
uh, we kind of looked at when Mike was on.
Mhm.
Good looking stuff. I mean, for Pat Broderick, some of I mean, some of the best stuff I've seen out of him for sure.
Yeah.
I would think that this would be the crowdfunding thing to some of these professionals is kind of like a breath of fresh air, uh,
Yeah.
something different after after a while it all kind of gets old, right?
Yeah.
If you've been in it long enough,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep fire going, that fire in your belly, if you will, the enthusiasm after you've done it
Hmm.
for a while, right?
Well, if you can convince a comic shop owner to invest in your book, you might have something.
Yeah. Well, it's going to take, I'm afraid, Mighty Geek, it's going to take more than one shot.
No, no.
Yeah.
But if you can do it with enough consistency, you should be able to make it.
I'm trying to get a backlog of material.
Yeah.
Uh, that just takes time,
Yeah.
development.
Hmm.
Uh, wish
Yeah.
I had
Most
it
of
all.
the most of the mom and pop shops
Yeah.
they
Oh, a
show
bunch
they
of
showcase creator own stuff, especially local artists.
them went under, went belly up. Uh,
I know.
when it came to the pandemic, you
Yeah.
know, went belly up. Bunch
I
of
know.
comic stores, bunch were closing down. That's that's sad to see.
With the exception of a few chain stores, yeah.
Well, I mean, even during that time, Hastings, which I thought everybody knew about, but apparently not. They were the largest retailer of comic books. They went under during that time.
Yeah.
And I think this is just my personal thing. I think the Obama years hurt some businesses, even big chains like that, worse
Yeah.
than
But,
initially. And eventually it just caught up.
yeah.
Um,
It did.
all right. Uh,
Because
let's see. I recently bought some Tim Vigil comic books, cool black and white comics. That guy's an awesome artist. Yeah, and he's
oh yeah.
leveled up. I mean, from his Faust and Grips days, that the Greater Mercury and Silverline comics, that
Mhm.
stuff's trash compared to what he's doing now. Not too
Yeah.
long ago, about a couple of years, maybe last year sometime, early last year, I bought two Tim Vigil original
Mm.
pieces. Some guys or demons, whatever, some figures
Yeah.
anyway, fighting with swords and stuff like a battle scene. Awesome. And a werewolf piece, which is very nice. The werewolf head done by him.
Yeah.
And he is so much better than when he started out. That guy has really leveled up. I have not been on with him on a panel, but I was briefly on with his brother Joe. And the reason I remember Joe Vigil is my brother, my real brother's, as if I've got a fake one in the closet. Actually, but my brother's name is Joe.
Yeah.
Well, so I can remember that.
Mhm.
Doesn't pay to forget his name like on his birthday and other things. Can't put anything past me.
Well, you did it.
Not just anything. Most things, but not just anything. I had more decisions to make on this front cover as far as the art was concerned. So
Yeah.
it's kind of avoiding it to tell you the truth, geek, to a certain extent. But now, just by the luck of the draw, most the back cover is gotten more done to it just by the luck of the draw. It's kind of picked,
Yeah.
and it kept coming back cover a couple
Mm.
times, so it's kind of got inked a little bit more than, well, a lot more than the front cover. But we're getting there. This is starting to shape up slowly but surely. Bog has a lot of detail. Uh, Not as much as it could.
It always does.
You know, what always does. The hell are you talking about, geek?
About how
Having
fast
detail?
things can get done. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, things can come by quickly. I mean, it's me, there's no rush on this, and I would rather concentrate on line weights and giving a variety of line. I think
Yeah.
be a better product when I get it done. Placement of lines. The artist got to tell his story with his pencil, and I get to tell it with my nib.
Exactly.
Whoops! I hate that. When you use a dual pen and it has two caps, you take one off to put the cap back on, and then you got two caps off.
Yeah. Yep, it happens.
They do indeed.
Also gives you something to laugh about.
Mm-hmm. I can always use that. Something to laugh about. If I don't laugh, I'll cry. More laughter.
And we don't want that because we don't need the page getting wet.
Are those tears?
You're gonna ruin the work.
Well, I mean, Tree Goblin's always here and saying dip it in water. So,
Yeah.
him, I wouldn't have a collection. Be, paper pulp.
Yeah.
Um, when Windblock says, Mighty Geek, now I can see his enemy that resembles him, but a red dragon.
Yeah.
What is that, a marker you're using right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Working on the
Uh,
logo a little bit.
yeah.
Looking good. Looking good.
Oh,
Lots of blue.
this this is a set of gray markers.
I love gray.
Yeah. This way I can do metallics, met- I can do metal objects.
Yeah, I've got some metallic surfaces, and I'm not really
Yeah.
accustomed to working and giving it that metallic look. I
Mm.
would think Iron Man's kind of hard, would be hard for me to kind of work on, really,
The
personally.
thing about Iron Man is you gotta know where to put the shine in it.
Right. And there's tutorials, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can probably go on YouTube. YouTube, heck, you can get a PhD on YouTube.
Be on YouTube. You can get a PhD in comic art on YouTube
Yeah.
if you take the time to do it.
On any subject, really,
If you take the time to just
if you take the time. Yeah. It's amazing what's,
yeah,
we live in an age where uh,
this is why most
more
artists say you don't.
information can be assimilated quickly, and yet what are we doing?
Mm,
We're playing, we're gaming or
right.
something. We're not taking advantage of what really, you don't even have to go back to the founding fathers, but the founding fathers could only hope for that much
Right.
information that they had. I mean, that about the founding fathers, and Mike talked about them briefly today.
Yeah.
Um, and something that it flashed through my mind, but we didn't kind of talk about was they spoke multiple languages. Some of them five,
Yeah.
6, 10 languages, whatever. I
True.
mean, you know, it's amazing. The
Well, when you have to deal with the many nations of Europe, yeah,
yeah,
it paid to speak more than one language.
it sure did. Language of commerce back then was speaking,
Exactly.
being able to communicate. Fellas, looking good. You have a great weekend. Peace, Windblock says.
All
Oh,
right.
we're not to the weekend yet.
Well,
Go
technically
away
it's
that.
Thursday.
Oh, he's going to the
Technically,
con. He's going to the con.
no wonder. Because technically it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Today's only Thursday. You gotta wait till Friday to say that.
They hit the road. Yeah, you get our hopes up, right?
Right.
It's like, man, I was kind of looking forward to the weekend.
As Bill Cosby once said in one of his stand up shows, people work so hard to get to Saturday and Sunday. And those are the 2 days that they totally destroy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And this was when he was talking about drinking, getting drunk, and people saying they're having a good time. Mm.
Well, Cosby has given untold money. I
Yeah.
don't know how much to like the furtherment of black people. Okay.
Uh,
NWC, ACP, or whatever it's called, right?
yeah.
Never kept with it. I never had to. Now, don't want to. Um,
Uh,
but he was critical. He was like, "Is this what we marched for in the
right.
'60s?" Martin Luther King, for gangbangers to go around, or you your pants are down to your knees, and I still
Yeah.
see it within the black culture and stuff. But he's like, "Is this what we marched for?" And he came
Right.
under criticism for that, but not too much because he is a big donor, and
Yeah.
big advocate for the
Mm,
furtherance of blacks within society, and that's a good thing.
right. Yeah.
Uh, Especially Fat Albert and other things that
Oh,
he's done. Uh, he's got a proven track record with.
yeah.
Does that make him a saint? No. Mm. He's kind of gotten
Mm,
in trouble the last few years for stuff he did way back when, right?
yeah.
Allegedly. Uh,
Allegedly.
yeah, and maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but let God
What?
sort it out. I'm not saying you got a
These
grievance.
things happened so long ago. Ooh,
Yeah, you'd think the statute
especially
of limitations would run out.
in in a few cases it did.
Yeah, and
So, but
I mean, they're. I mean, at his age, you go to prison for a few years, that could be a life sentence, and that's kind of
exactly.
what they're trying to do to Trump. You know,
Yeah.
if he goes in for any length of time whatsoever, it could be a life sentence for him.
Yeah.
Have you considered that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The thing. mm, shoot, the thing is, Trump said it before. It's not him that they're after. It's the rest of us. He's just in the way. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, really.
Because how many sitting presidents set aside a day to talk to everybody, to talk to everyday citizens?
Well, FDR did it on the radio, but he's a socialist, and so I
Uh,
didn't.
Trump did it in person. He
Yeah.
invited someone. He
Oh,
opened the day for
he
all
did a
people to
lot
come
of
in.
things for the very first time as president. You know,
Yeah.
not just for Israel and their capital, and although
Mhm.
that's a first, a lot of presidents uh, said they'd do it and never did. But
Right.
uh, Trump did it.
Mhm.
There was a bunch that he did for the very first time. Uh, go into that, but I don't want to go into it.
His Twitter account was his way of talking to everybody.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you made that distinction because yeah, that was now that's not going to work for him like it did last time.
No, no, but the thing about it was no one else was using it.
Right.
He knew if he wanted to reach the young voters, he had to go to where they were, and they were on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
He does his research.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
And the funny thing was, in 2016, he said he wasn't expecting to win because he thought he'd be running against Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I think his win was even a surprise to him.
Yeah, it was.
You
It was a
you could
surprise to everybody.
yeah.
'Cause we all thought that Bernie Sanders was gonna. We all
Y'all
had an idea that Bernie Sanders was gonna win.
be the nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they bought him off.
No, they threw him under the bus.
Well, he got compensated. Trust me.
I'm sure.
Hillary, I mean, look at his status now
No, no.
in the Biden administration. He's got a long reach when it comes to what's said, and done. And basically, his agenda is being put into play.
Yeah,
It's his, but so it's a win-win-win, win-win-win
yeah.
situation. I don't think it really cost him that much.
Nah,
He would have never been elected president anyway.
no,
No way.
no.
Not even today if he ran. He's not that
Nah,
articulate.
no.
But then most of those Democrats are. Period.
True.
So you can't just go by that. But
Mhm. Well,
now you know.
well, the Democrats running this city just found out what the border states really go through.
I'm glad you. Oh, did they have a dump? I heard about the one in California, but I didn't hear about the one in Chicago.
No, the bus when they started sending buses to sanctuary cities.
Uh huh.
Yeah, and they were sending them as they came through. And the former mayor was complaining about it, and the current mayor still
Well,
is continuing to complain about it.
glad you got her out of there. I tell you what, she's a piece of crap.
I know.
So many people suffered under her. I mean, really suffered.
Yeah.
And most of it just goes unspoken.
Hmm.
And nothing from what either she said or done convinces me she's anything but a dumbass. Just to put it, uh, you know,
I know you're trying to be polite.
and you
Don't be
want to
polite.
run you want to run one of the busiest, most hectic cities in America.
Yeah.
She ain't got a clue. She's a chicken with her head cut off. I'm glad she's gone. Hello, Tree Goblin. How
And
are you? Trump will be a political prisoner. Well, I told you last year I thought they would handcuff him. Now, whether we actually see that or not, I mean they're trying to put the shackles on him for now to
yeah,
shut the door for sure.
yeah. They tried to do everything to keep him from running again.
Oh yeah, and yet the way Biden talks, you'd think he would want him.
Mm.
But he really
What
doesn't.
they fa- what they fail to realize is if Trump wins this time, he can't run anymore.
No, I think they know that, don't they?
You would think they would.
Yeah. Well, they don't want him another 4 years. Hell no.
Mm.
They want as
They
much
want the
time as
rest of us.
they
They want
want
the
the
rest
they
of
want
us
to
under their
finish
boot.
the job.
Mm.
Finish the job that they started. Toot sweet. And he
Mm.
was a delay to that, right?
Yeah,
Hillary was going to be, the next president. And they have a third term of Obama for all intents and purposes, and they didn't get it.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I know that's simplification of it, but there you
Yeah,
have it.
there it is. What it boils down to is what's best for us. Mm.
Well, this stuff with Iran.
Yeah.
Congress should be saying right now, this is a treaty.
Mm-hmm.
There, you're talking about a treaty,
Right.
not just, and that has to go through Congress.
I know.
No gentleman's agreement with the. We're just going to take their word. We're going to send them billions of dollars more. Yeah, they're getting the bomb. They have hyperspeed missiles. We don't even have
Mm-hmm.
hyperspeed. China's sending them. You know, so look, we're at war. We're in World War III right now. In a way,
Yeah.
this is a type of war. That's what people have to understand. This is a different type of war than what's come before.
Yeah.
I was looking over. Well, if I went another hour, I would match my other time zinking.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have another hour in me. Probably don't need it, but
Yeah.
uh,
Well, it's 6 o'clock, so who knows?
yeah, who knows who the bell toes or whom the bell toes.
It goes for thee.
Uh oh, trouble now. I say.
Well, just as long as the bed isn't calling you by your first and last name, you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's really not.
Which will probably be doing in the next 30 minutes or so.
All right, okay. Like you got that much in you, huh?
Yeah, shoot,
Huh?
I have yet to go to sleep, so
Yeah. Either that or you're talking in your sleep.
nah, not yet. Not going that far.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Decisions,
well,
King.
I find it amazing that nobody wants to compromise anymore.
Yeah, there is no give, right?
You can't disagree with no one.
Don't be a dissenter. Don't question. Obey.
It's a
It
funny
really is
sounding
like that
word.
Piper movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need a copy of that. It's
Every
one
day
thing I'm
we.
gonna do. I'm gonna go on YouTube and on eBay, and I'm gonna find a copy of that for my collection. I own that movie,
Yeah.
and I need to watch that movie. Need it, need to.
If it keeps going, if things keep going the way they're going, this will turn into another 1984.
Have you ever read the book?
Yes, I have. Scary.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a version of that in black and white on disc that was
Mhm.
broadcast in the 50s.
Yeah,
Uh, they've been broadcasting that message for a very long time as a classic, even in
I
early
know.
TV.
I know. And then you look at the similarities between now and then and what's in that book. It's scary.
Mhm.
You will no longer have a name. You will be known by a number.
Mhm.
Eee.
Don't scare the folks out there now. Too bad.
Don't scare the folks. Shoot.
Yeah, we ought to be terrified by now, huh?
Terrified. You should be trying to change things.
Hmm. So where would you suggest we begin? At
That's the
this big,
$64 question.
indeed it is.
I would suggest starting with leadership.
Well, it all flows from the top, right?
Yeah.
And I'm afraid the apple is rotten.
Oh, the apple's been rotten. Hmm.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, this has been coming for a while, though, right?
Yeah.
We know that for the better part of a century, it's been creeping up on us. And the communists said in 1957 in their manifesto that they're 50 something points, right? That they
Yeah.
wanted to in America, and every one of those points have been met to certain varying degrees.
True.
Uh, Tree Collins says it's a fifth wave warfare. America wouldn't let Orwell release Animal Farm for years. They didn't like Stalin being so brutally portrayed. They were still close allies. Yeah, and he started
Yeah.
out as on Hitler's side in World War II till he got betrayed.
Yeah.
Which that's part of Stalin's undoing, right? Because he invaded, was it Finland, something, and they had such a poor
Yeah.
showing that emboldened Hitler, I believe,
Yeah.
to the point of invasion, which is stupid, to fight on two fronts like that, or
Right.
multiple fronts. They were in Africa and stuff. Had the Italians propping them up there for a little while.
Yeah. The Italians were supporting them from the south. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got to hear a little
And
bit real.
now these modern idiots want to call us Nazis.
Yeah,
What they fail to realize, they're the ones acting like Nazis.
yeah. Well, they fail to see a lot, don't they?
Yeah. They fail to see a lot of things, but
Yeah.
that's
Some of
neither
it they
here nor
just
there.
want to know.
Mm,
Some of it they just don't want to see
true.
on purpose. Willful.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
if I had,
Blissful ignorance.
if I had to look at it, you had to look at it.
Those of us with common sense have seen it before.
Well, that's what Mike Barron was talking about today. Common sense, right? Point. He was talking about common sense. And common sense isn't mentioned enough nowadays, I don't think.
No, it isn't.
There is such thing as common sense, isn't there?
Yes.
Common sense seems to be a little bit uncommon nowadays, by and large.
Yeah.
Mm.
If these people would use their common sense, they would see the error of their ways.
Would they now?
But, but that's asking a bit much, I know.
I know that is asking a lot.
The way they say it, it'll be like me asking them to empty the ocean with a bucket.
Rome wasn't built in a day, was it?
Yeah, true, but it fell in a day.
Yeah. One day, anyway, some point. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's just funny. It's just funny that they call us names because we don't find their creative works entertaining.
Mm.
If I'm not mistaken, entertainment is supposed to take me away from reality.
Calgon,
Take me away.
take me away. Or as you would say, you better.
You better. Yeah. Ooh, they don't even make commercials like they used to.
No. Well, it all becomes standardized, right?
Hmm. Well, the standard being that women are smarter than men
Oh, my.
in most entertainment and commercials. Yeah.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
All right, Marilyn.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
I know.
Some some of you will get it, some of you will not. Wax on, wax off. Clap on. There's Bone. Hello, Bone. Good morning.
Mhm.
Thank God it's Friday. Is it Friday? I guess it is. No wonder he was
Uh,
like, have a great weekend because he's going off to the con.
yeah.
1 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, it is Friday. I thought it was three. It is Friday. Mhm.
Racial awareness of the left is comparable to the Nazis, Tree Godwin said.
We know,
Yeah, it
for
really
those of
is. It
for
really is.
those of us with common sense know this.
We have what some would say is a racist president in there now. I'm not going to say it because
Yeah.
I don't want the channel struck.
Okay.
Not over him.
No, we're
No,
not going to do that.
no. Oh, there's some things I'd like to say, geek. But
I know.
alas, ye swabs. Shazam!
Shazam.
Uh, show some common sense that Mike was alluding to earlier today
Hmm.
and shut my mouth
Hmm.
for the time being.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, below me down.
I ain't blowing nothing. You don't see it, you don't spit in the wind.
No. Now you know
Storytellers
that.
like Mike
Now you
Marion,
know.
Rochi, we
Hmm.
need more,
Of course.
don't you know? Music used to tell a story. Now it's just like Here, hold this and go up and down with it.
Yeah.
To put it delicately, which
Yeah.
was kind of delicate, but there it is, folks. Stroke me, stroke me.
Yeah.
I go away.
Let's not.
Let's not say we did.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're awful agreeable tonight, geek.
No, what you're
No,
saying is funny.
no.
That's all I'm. All I'm
Okay.
saying is what you're saying is funny.
Well,
And there are so few of us who actually agree with the truth.
no. Well, there's so few of us know it when we see it to be
True.
able to agree on it. Tree Garland says the Nazis wanted to socialize uh, race with theirs
At
at
the
the
top.
top. The Nazis hate American culture more than any other.
True.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
That is very
Well,
true.
we've been through a lot.
Oh yeah.
Went on before I was even around. George Wallace,
Mm.
bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Remember when the new? Yeah. Remember when the news was unbiased?
Well, I do remember. No, I remember Walter Cronkite, and he was the most trusted man in America, and still he was biased. He was never. I
Yeah.
mean, at the time, we didn't think that much about it, but yeah,
Right.
as things have progressed, and we look back, it's like, yeah, he's
You
not.
just couldn't see their biases even if they were.
Yeah,
They hid it so well.
right.
Because as a journalist, their job was to print or tell the truth as it happened.
And that's the way that's the way it was, Walter or
You're
Dan
right.
Rather, huh?
Yep. Dan
Well, it wasn't
Dan
Dan Rather,
Rather,
huh?
Ted Koppel had a line. I forgot how it went.
Further back there. But now you know the rest of the story.
Right.
There was a guy made a career out of radio,
Okay.
hmm and had a lot of common sense. I
True.
wish we had a few more like him. Instead, we get Barbara Wawa on the View to kick them off,
Mm.
and the View is
Well, the
should
view,
not be looked at. The
the
View
view
should be.
has, yeah, should be. Well, I would say canceled, but that would
Yeah,
be too nice.
I don't know. That's
But canceling the view would be too polite.
cancel culture. You don't want to be considered cancel culture, do you?
Nah,
No.
but the rate they're going, they'll have enough rope to hang themselves.
Well, that's kind of like Mussolini, right? I mean, it kind of winds up that way in the end, right? But by the end,
Yeah,
they destroyed the country.
exactly, exactly.
I'm making some progress. Geek. Making some progress, okay?
Well, are you 75% done?
No, hell no. It was more than 70. No,
Oh, you close to 90%, huh?
hell no. Not on that front cover. Maybe not even on that back cover, but yeah, it's closer. Yeah, I might be. I don't even want to go say 80 or 75 on the back cover.
Yeah.
But now the front cover, nah, it's still got a lot to go.
Okay.
And if I can pull my genius out of my anyway, it
Yeah.
might turn out to be look pretty good. If I can, all things being considered.
Yeah. Just just remember the Acadia Genius is on your desk.
Mm.
It's shaped like a pin.
I might have to switch over to the back cover though, just to change things up.
Hey, do what you think is right. You do what you think is best.
Yeah, not always, but I've used a little white out on this too in spots uh, already on the back cover.
Yeah.
Tried a few line breakups on in a little definition on Slaver,
Okay.
on Kill Dragon or Blood Dragon, whoever he turns out to be. Did I ask you? Should I put because both look similar, right?
Yeah.
Blood Dragon, Kill Dragon.
Yeah.
Should I put the red one in front or the green one in front, and the red one in the back, or the green one in back? What's your
Hmm.
color wise? I mean, I
Well,
guess it depends on
I'd say
clown's going to kind of be. He's going to be wraith like, not a lot of He'll probably be
yeah.
darker, of course, suit, but Slaver, don't know yet.
Ah.
I kind of think reddish brown, but I mean the red
Yeah.
real subdued in him. But
A muted red. Yeah.
well, I mean, if you put red right here in front, it's going to really pop, right? Put it back there, it's
Right.
really going to. So maybe Shadowhawk's right. Put the green in the front
Yeah.
there, but I want this detailing to show up. And I think it
Right.
would show better on red. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess I could have somebody flat in a couple of things and take a look, huh? Yeah, when I
Yeah.
get a little further along. These decisions don't have to be made tonight, folks.
No, they don't.
You know. I do think I've got some good lines going on in here on the back
Yeah.
cover. Uh,
Well, your layout's pretty solid. So
trying. Got some long lines, Tink. Especially on the back. These tails going forever.
yeah, I believe it.
They need to be sort of seamless, right?
Yep. They should be.
Yeah.
Just make sure no one stands on anybody's tail. Or you might have a fight on your hands.
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my.
Again? Well, that trick never works.
Yeah. Pulls out a rhino.
It's either a rhino or a lion,
Lion.
and
Say,
sometimes a tiger.
Put a tiger in your tank.
Yeah. Mm. Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Go fly a squirrel.
Yeah. Well, when your name is Rocket J. Squirrel, what do you expect?
Well, now there was Secret Squirrel as
Oh
well,
yeah. Oh
and
yes.
Morocco Mole,
Morocco Mole.
Fez,
Yes.
Egyptian Fez, or I like to think it's Egyptian anyway.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, yeah, yes,
It was
yes.
one of those. There was another one of those Cold War things where you can think of anything in the spy genre and it works.
Yeah, Secret Squirrel. Yeah,
I still say the Cold War was the best thing that ever happened to entertainment.
maybe
You could,
you could be
you could
right
make
about
up you can make up anything you want spying on other countries and no one would care less.
it. This the spy genre definitely was popular in the
Yes.
60s. You had James Bond, the man from Uncle, Wild Wild West,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Possible, the Mod Squad. It goes on
Oh,
and on.
and it go
Get Smart.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I said that one. It's nice that you listen.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps.
Easily.
Ooh, they even took it a step further with Inspector Gadget.
Oh yeah, much later.
Which
Well, now
I was.
Tennessee Tuxedo, the Penguin
Mm-hmm.
with the walrus,
Yeah.
same John Adams, same voice,
Yeah.
the voice, the Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
Tuxedo. Yep,
Yeah.
60s. Yes, he did. 99. Ooh. Just like, I always wanted a shoe phone.
I know.
Been better than the brick, right?
Yeah.
That came out.
Mhm. And there was everyone's favorite, the top secret gadget phone.
My dad had one of those bricks that he kept in the truck when he went down to the farm.
Mm.
We're good,
Yeah.
It was a boon, to be able to do that.
It was.
Call us and give us updates and stuff, and that was
Yeah.
pretty. That was pretty nice.
It was. What made it nice was that not everyone could afford one.
No,
It was more of
I
a
really don't
luxury
know
than
how much it was.
it was
Uh,
more of a luxury than anything else.
yeah, but it worked great on the farm.
Yeah.
For something like that, because anything can happen on the farm, right?
Yeah.
Something break down, you can call and get them working on getting you the parts or something while you go get them.
Right. Right.
You know, I could see where it had a lot of advantages for my father. I don't think he really utilized it that much, but
Mhm. It was
you know
for him. It was
what he
probably an
he did,
emergency thing.
what he did, yeah. Oh yeah, great for emergency. Can you imagine if something happened and you needed help quick?
Right.
That would more than pay for itself right then and there.
Yeah,
Expensive
but it
back
did.
then or not.
Shoot. Like I said, it's just a shame that what cartoons have devolved into.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's don't get depressing. It's a shame that we don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore.
I
But,
know.
you know, it is what it's going to be. So,
Right.
you know, Democrats, they messed with that. They
Yeah.
did. I mentioned that to Mike today. I
Yeah.
mentioned it before. Ted Kennedy and his damn legislation, was a big part.
Yeah. Best cartoons came on Saturday morning and before you went to school and after you got home from school. And these were majority action cartoons during the week. They don't even make
And
cartoons like that
and
anymore.
the thing of it is, they had the action cartoons.
Right.
They
They don't
actually
even make
had cartoons that you loved to watch, and that just died out in the 70s. Just
I know.
after that legislation came in, violence for kids had an effect even on Batman and Superman in the 90s, early 90s. How much blood they could show.
Yeah.
They were always,
Yeah, but they were inventive about getting around it.
oh yeah, but yeah, and that I mean, what is it they say? Excuse me. The mother of invention.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah.
Transformers was the best. The new Beast one.
Sure. Mm.
True Goblin says.
Ah, Tree Goblin went and saw the rise of the beast.
Hmm. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Rise of the Beast?
Yeah.
Hell no. Be afraid the Antichrist would come out and
No. It's basically a live action version of Beast Wars.
yeah.
That's
Now
all.
I had that animated.
Hmm.
Uh, I like Beast Wars.
Yeah.
What I saw, what I have, what's
Yeah.
kind of computer generated, I suppose.
They were experimenting with new technology for animation, so a lot of shows got the 3D treatment.
Yeah, and no problem with that. It's kind of neat to watch that stuff develop, and come along
Yeah.
over time.
You know, a cartoon like G.I. Joe, a real American hero, could never be made today.
Yeah, there's a lot that couldn't be made today. Even some of
that
that.
one, that one in particular would be called not fascist propaganda
Hmm.
because it promoted patriotism.
G.I. Joe. Real American hero.
The the more you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
Either that or have He-Man and his friends talk to give you a lesson, give you a morality lesson.
Yeah, you don't see that anymore, do you?
No.
But they did that in the '70s as well on some shows like ISIS, and
Yeah.
uh, he wasn't the first to do it.
No. Ooh, I've seen it done with Josie and the Pussycats and a few others.
Oh yeah, Groovy Ghoulies.
No,
I don't know if they did it, but you
I'm
said
not
Josie
sure.
and the Pussycats. That reminded me of the
Mhm.
Groovy Ghoulies. You remember them, of course.
Yeah. Morning, Shadowhawk. Think he's in the back room.
Is he? Oh, hello, sir. How are you?
Hold on a second. I think I'm here.
Okay.
Hold on there.
no,
Can you
I
hear me?
just, yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, guys.
No,
Good
oh
morning.
boy. I saw you posted a message in the private chat.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did. I mean, I've got my head down working, right?
Mhm.
A little bit
Yeah,
longer. Morning,
I figured I might
boys.
take a few minutes.
Glad you got your new job again, brother. I know you are too.
Oh,
We'll
hell
have to
yeah, me
talk
too,
about.
bud. Woohoo.
I'll try and get together with you at lunchtime, but no promises. But I will really try. I'll probably be
Yeah,
up.
no problem. If you got time, if not, no big deal.
Yeah, but I'm wanting to hear about it.
Yeah, I know I told you it's probably going to be a few minutes late yesterday, but it's probably going to be today because I didn't want to be late when Mike was there. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a good time. I thought I went. I watched. I rewatched that. You know, uh, most of it.
yeah,
All of.
pretty good interview.
I think so. I think it turned out okay. You know,
Yeah, I
I,
mean, we didn't try to retread too much ground, stuff he obviously been on
I,
record for over and over again.
I think he. I think he enjoyed himself. Hopefully,
Yeah, it's kind of hard
yeah.
to tell with Mike, but I think he did.
yeah. I know Fanta got a thrill. I saw her
Oh, yeah,
post
Fanta was so happy.
on Twitter.
Yeah.
I saw her post on Twitter. You know, I got to meet Mike Bear. He's just so excited.
As she
Did like
was.
a video on that. Well, he already did front start.
Well, she can thank Carrie because Carrie's like, oh, you know, Carrie makes suggestions, and I
Oh,
do
yeah.
listen, Carrie. Do listen occasionally. Don't
Once in a
ask my ex-wives, but I do listen.
while.
His ex-wives, I would no, I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't ask them if you
No,
listen or not.
I wouldn't ask them for a hangman
You wouldn't
rope
trust
if I
your
needed
ex-wife
one.
to give you a reference?
Yeah, go to hell.
Yeah.
Well, one of them would anyway. Oh, I don't know. Like,
One of
they are. I
yeah.
like to make
Brian, like,
jokes because
those
they're
meetings and
easy.
stuff. So,
I like to make X jokes because they're easy, but no, I
They usually
get
are.
along. I've tried to get along with everybody.
Hmm.
I haven't always succeeded, geek, but I've tried.
I, I know. I understand that. But then again, you have to understand that there is women who don't understand people like us.
Well, man's got to know his limitations.
that's
That's what
right.
I'm told.
Dirty Harry. Man's got to know his limitations.
Okay, lift the lid, go higher. What's on your agenda today, Shadowhawk, at work? What you got to do?
I don't know. The weather's kind of shitty today. I was gonna come outside and do some landscaping today, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what happens.
Oh, wow, landscaping. Wow,
I might
possibly.
just fucking get back and take it easy today. And do some little ass-
Well, it rained a little bit here yesterday, early yesterday, as the sun was coming up,
Yeah.
but not much. Not to make the humidity a little bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I have a
it's
feeling we
really
probably got
not
rain
bad.
coming soon.
So far, it's had a pretty good year as far as weather's concerned.
Yeah.
It hasn't been crazy hot yet.
No, it hasn't here anyway. And last year was about perfect in my guesstimation where I live because it was low humidity, low bugs. I still got to
Mm.
spray, but we still
Yeah.
do the contacts and whatnot. But the humidity wasn't bad. Bugs weren't bad. It was a dry heat when it might have been hot, but it was a dry heat. There's a difference.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that this year turns out more like last year, actually. I started out on the front cover, inking the front cover, Shadow, but now I'm back on the back cover.
He's been going back
The
and
front
forth
cover.
between the front and the back.
I've been going back and forth a little bit, but I just find the back cover with all the villains a little bit more interesting.
Definitely, I've only been partial to them. All right, boys. I'm gonna
Well,
let you go.
the
Talk
ne'er do
to you
wells are always more interesting.
later.
All right, Shadowhawk, you have a good one. I'll try and get with you at lunch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My geek. Have a good morning, and talk to you later.
All
All
right,
right.
take care.
You too.
I think Stan Lee had a book come out, right? Bring on the bad guys. Wasn't
One
it?
of them.
One of them?
One
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. I think I saw that when it came out, but I never got it. Or if I had it, it was in my old collection. I don't have it currently. I don't think.
The latest set of books that he wrote was Stanley's masterclass on how to draw comics,
Yeah, he
how to
was
draw
doing actual stuff on disc, wasn't he?
mhm,
CD stuff or DVDs
DVDs and book and print
before
format.
before he passed away. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always wanting to get that stuff in the movies and stuff, and he succeeded.
Yeah.
And same way, similar story when Batman came out in 1989
Hmm.
with Bob Kane. They got to kind of realize a little bit of the potential, you know,
Yeah.
of property that they've worked on before and kind of benefit from it financially. Even though Bill Finger comes in there a lot when it comes to Batman. But
Hmm.
I think that's an old argument that we all know about.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you should know because Bill Finger did
No. Yeah.
a lot for Batman, a lot for Batman. Probably more than Bob Kane.
Pro- Probably.
Established a lot with that character. And the Joker and other things. Batcave, Batmobile, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They have some good documentaries uh, on YouTube. You're interested in the history of Batman. He's probably got more things out on Batman out there than any other
Yeah.
character, probably. A
Well,
lot of people would say their favorite character is Batman. A lot of people.
well, Batman marks one end of the superhero spectrum.
Yeah,
On the other end is Superman.
yeah.
Every other
Well,
super and every other superhero falls in between those two characters.
it got to be one after your own heart, right? Because you like
Right.
characters that don't have powers.
Yeah. And then you have characters who are very unique, like Daredevil, the Shroud.
Oh yeah. Oh, the
Both of these
Shroud.
guys.
What is the
Both of these
Shroud
guys.
powers? By the way, that's a Marvel character.
Yeah.
What is the Shroud's power? He's got a
Well,
cloak, right?
yep.
Kind of like
He's
cloak and dagger.
is is more of a religious character than he's blind like Daredevil.
Oh, he is. I guess I
Yes.
knew that. I
Mhm.
guess.
But he was born blind, whereas Daredevil's blindness came from an accident.
Yeah. I think I think I knew that, but I really the Shroud did not appear in that many of books.
No.
Uh, Sporadically, let's say.
Yeah.
Great name for a character, though, huh?
It was.
But now, what's his powers? Did you tell me?
It was more of a detective than anything else.
It was more of a defect. A what?
Uh, I said he was more like a detective than anything else.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that at all.
A lot of people aren't.
Well, he's a little on the obscure side, right?
Yeah. I've asked people to name comic book detectives, and they always leave out two characters:
Yes.
Superman and Spider Man.
Yeah.
Superman was a detective because of his day job.
Yeah. Clark Kent.
Yes. Dude, Spider Man the same way.
Think he might have been called a cub reporter.
Yeah.
Uh,
Peter Parker's been called a freelance photojournalist, a cub reporter, and
I just don't see him as a quote cub reporter. Do you?
not
Jimmy
really.
Olsen, yeah.
Jimmy
But
Olsen, yeah.
Peter Parker, eh.
Ooh. And most of the
Lois Lane
animated
got,
shit.
you know, Lois Lane got
Yeah,
moxie.
I know. Ooh.
I believe I'm going to get 3.5 hours in on this again.
Well, yeah,
If I keep it consistent like that, it's easy to figure out. See,
yeah. It just took Lois Lane what 40 years to figure out that Superman and Clark Kent was the same person.
Well, now don't be a hater. She's a little
Um,
slow, but
yeah,
you'll get there eventually.
yeah,
What's your
true,
point
but,
besides on
but
the one on your head?
but no, it's funny because when people describe Lois Lane, they always describe her as this very observant woman.
Right. And she's been portrayed in many different ways by many different actresses, voices, and
You're right.
artists. Um, Lana Lang is very interesting to me, as I was
Yeah.
telling Mike Barron, just for the fact that, or was it RJ? Uh, I think it was Mike because someone showed me, I guess it was RJ, showed me those
Probably
two leaks.
RJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the old leaks that I guarantee you that Jim Shooter probably wrote those.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't swear to it. I'm not sure what issues exactly. I mean, I know I may even have his first Legion story that he
Mm.
did, that he's credited with, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a huge respect for anybody to do that at such a young age.
Oh
And
yeah.
then just, even if he didn't do all the other stuff that he did,
Yeah.
even if he just worked on Legion for however many issues he did, to do it at such a young age on a level like that, and I think one of the very first comics I ever got had a Jim Shooter Legion story in it.
Mm.
Legion, a superhero, giant size, 60 center for
Yeah.
the 70s. Man, that was
Wouldn't be
good.
surprised.
With some Kurt Swan. We talked, Mike brought up Kurt Swan as an artist,
Yeah.
I think, today. If he didn't, RJ did. Swan, I was trying to figure out, exactly, and I'm still wondering how long he drew Superman.
Mm.
I know it was 30 something years, but I'm not sure exactly, you know, the exact number of
Yeah.
years. I'd like to kind of know that. How long did Kurt Swan really draw Superman?
That's an interesting question.
I know I,
I wish I knew.
I know I probably bought more of them than I probably should as a kid.
Yeah.
Shadowhawk says he's a mystic of some type, talking about the shroud. I think he
Yeah.
can manipulate darkness somewhat. Would you agree with that assessment of the shroud as a character, or were you aware
Not
of that?
not not
Huh?
really.
Not really that he could
Yeah.
manipulate, maybe, or
Yeah, he had some mystic abilities, but he didn't use them often.
Mhm. One thing I'm struggling with here, and I'm slowly building up to it, geek, is finding the light source.
Ah,
where's the light coming from? That makes a big difference,
that
right? How you do
that will
shadow,
always make a big difference. Yeah.
how you do shadow and how it's
Well, since this is a wraparound cover, you have to look at the front cover to see where the light's coming from too.
Yeah.
Because
When I do
how the
something,
light,
I do it.
well,
It's not
how the light
always the
hits the
easiest thing
heroes is
to do,
how it's
but
going to hit the yeah. Because however the light hits the heroes, it's going to hit the villains the same way.
well, who's inking this cover, you or me?
At this point, both of us.
Yeah. Oh, hell. Yeah. Well, there's that, folks. There's that.
The reason I say both of us is because I'm reminding you that you're doing one giant illustration.
Yeah. It needs to
So,
come together. Not necessarily right now, but at some point, right?
yeah.
And it will. Maybe I'll try that thing I had not heard about till I got to CG on the lighting.
What's that?
At, what was it Fragga called? Oh, bisexual lighting. I don't quite know what that means, but I'll give it a try, I guess.
Basically, if you're gonna do that, you're dealing with two light sources.
Oh, well, hence the bi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if it's trisexual,
Yeah.
then you'd have three.
Exactly.
I'm beginning to understand. I'm coming around.
But in this case, you would have two light sources coming from the opposing ends of the illustration. So whoever gets caught in the fold will be well lit.
No. I'm trying to do a little with a lot with a little. How about that?
That's what we all do.
Yeah. I think I've laid some pretty good lines down tonight, Geek. Strengthened a few
And,
things, defined a few things.
and there you go.
There you have it.
Are you,
I don't know
are you
how
happy?
noticeable, but the
Mm,
squeaky wheel gets the oil.
yeah.
Slowly but surely, I'll get there with it.
So are you
Yeah,
happy with what you? Question now is, are you happy with what you
for the
did so
most
far?
part. For the most part, it's
Okay.
been productive. I think I laid
All
down
right.
some.
That's all. That's all that matters.
Well, I don't know how much my opinion matters, but
No, 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 no.
oh,
Right now, are you happy with the work you've done? That's all. That's what matters.
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The last thing I did was just add a little couple dark spots on
Hey.
the clown shoe, just for
Okay.
I did quite a bit to slaver. You can do a lot with a little, when it comes to line weights.
Exactly.
I was messing with the line weights, worked on his head some, and then defined him a little darker, dirty Joe,
Hmm.
not all the way around, just a few lines.
Yeah.
Did some more on passenger there. Looks good,
Oh, okay.
thank you.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah, I'll probably adjust this. I don't know that that's right, but certain things
Hmm.
will work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My
It's coming
camera's
together.
not the best for picking up every little thing, but man, I think this is gonna pop once,
It's gonna be dynamite when
I
it's
hope it's
finished.
gonna uh,
It's gonna
dynamite.
be dynamite when it's all done.
I had to change my company name, folks.
What's
And I
that?
did some on this,
What you
getting
gonna
there.
change your name to?
Well,
Jim?
Dynamite. There's already a Dynamite Comics. I want to be Momentum.
Momentum Entertainment.
Momentum. Yes.
Mhm.
So, sign me up for that book deal right now and that movie. And I still say this is probably the biggest Kirby crackle you've ever seen, right there. And part of that'll probably be printed off, I
Mm,
mean, picture. But I decided to ink it anyway because it's
yeah,
fun. It's a big splotch, so I inked what he had there.
exactly.
I had to lessen it and erase half of it later. But hey, you know,
Hey, you do.
it's not that precious. My precious. Now I noticed you turned
uh,
your camera off. Were you done? Like,
no, I was charging my phone.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
I forget you had to do that. You're kind of like Shadowhawk in that regard, huh?
yeah.
Mrs. Good Stuff in the house. Sorry, I just saw this. Well, good morning. Haven't caught a morning stream in a bit. I know, right? And we're at the end of
Tell me
this one.
about it.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
I read Tree Goblins underneath it, but totally misses Mrs. G's.
yeah.
Well, there's that, as we say, right? Do my eyes look
Yeah.
tired to you? I'm not, but that's beside the point.
Mine are.
Go out. Yours are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So It's 7 o'clock. Yeah.
You will always make me laugh, and you never have to do another thing. You know why?
Why?
I will always remember you fell asleep on me once. And that just you don't realize what that does for me. That's just so funny.
Yeah.
As if you would be laughing if it happened to you, if I fell asleep on you,
Yeah.
especially on
Yeah.
my own stream.
Yeah. That would be funny.
And that did happen once. Yeah. Once that I can
It
remember.
it's funny because you have no control over it.
Yeah.
That's the
I
only thing.
think that was in my 30-minute marathon that I had a big panel on. Fell
Uh.
asleep for about 30 minutes. They said I didn't move. They thought I was dead. I didn't make a sound. Not one sound. Not they didn't snore or anything. They just thought I was like
Is he dead?
I was dead tired, didn't move, stroked out or something. But anyway,
It happens. That's
today
all
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
have old
say.
Gary Shipman on the six at
At
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be working, but if it rains, and I don't expect it will, I probably won't. Although I'm supposed to be over there on Mike's, Shadow's
Yeah.
going to have to fill in for me, I'm afraid. But if I don't
Oh.
work, I'll be over there on the mic stand,
Okay.
fulfilling my duty. But we got Gary Shipman coming on talking about Mighty Titan today. Rex
Yeah.
Hex and Apex on Saturday. Tomorrow, it's the weekend.
It's
Wow. At
Friday.
11. And we'll have Amy and Keith Gleason on. And then,
Mm.
well, and on 11, well, I ain't got it. I got it. Rex, Hex, and Apex, but what are we going to do on the 4 o'clock shadow on Saturday and Sunday?
Hmm. Hmm.
Some of you
Maybe.
people that I keep contacting, call me. Line you up. We got space. And then Monday, Russ Leach, only death can save us. That's a book I really want. I want 1 and 2. the 3
Okay.
and 4 and 5 and whatever comes out, just on looks alone. He's trying to
Hmm.
capture that Bronze Age
I
in
believe.
comics.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? He's a
I
UK
believe.
artist. Only Death Can Save Us.
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet, but
When
it's
I saw his first pitch for that, I was like, "Ooh, I want to get that." And that was number 1. I didn't get it. Number 2
mm,
come out. I ain't got it, but I think number 2's maybe still up, and you got catch up tier or something.
yeah.
He's on 4 or 5. I'll get the omnibus. Hell, whatever. I'm gonna get that. That's good
as long
stuff.
as long
Russell's
as you
very
get it.
talented. Yeah. So we'll have to line some stuff up. Mrs. G says, "Sorry, Rex. Saturdays is a doogie for the next couple of weeks. You know I love Rex and Hex and Apex. Hey, no problem. But if you like Mighty Mascots, Amy and Keith Gleason are going to be on with us. So I found it was tough. It had to be worthy. Had to get 2 of them just to replace you one. You know, you know,
Mhm.
you can't hardly beat Mrs. G. You know, as a guest, takes 2 to
Sure.
replace one. You know. So anyway, I'm glad you got an early stream. I'll try and do some more wake up streams. I'm trying to do some stuff different, but
Mhm.
or stay up and do one of these and then call this the early stream, right? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I got plenty of inking to do, even if it's not on this wraparound cover. Believe me,
Yeah.
lots of stuff to work on. So there's no shortage there, and even though I'm working now, uh, I'm not stopping. I want to be
Mm-mm.
known as hardest working guys in CG. Ooh! More energy than 2 30-year-olds put together. What do you think? All right.
Yeah, might make it.
We're going to
Mhm.
call this one geek. We did good.
All right.
Fist bump.
We did.
Hmm.
Bump. We did real
I had
good.
fun. Thanks for coming on. You made it enjoyable, as usual.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been enjoyable.
Say hello to the Windy City for me.
All right.
And while you're at it, pull my finger.
Now.
Damn it. All right. Keep collecting. Keep watching.
Watching.
We're out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Out for now.